case been trying to save face. Nigga, I believe their arm got twisted to give Kelsey an immunity deal. Yo, you know you need my testimony. You know you need it. She pump fake like, oh, I'll testify. Showed up with a bunch of lawyers. I plead the fifth. No, you can't. My lawyers told me to plead the fifth. All right, we won't prosecute you. Nah, I still plead the fifth. I need something in writing. Oh, I got one? Now we can talk. Anyway, we'll see. But yeah. This either tells me one or two things. Either the DA really, because you can't say you're trying to clean up the streets and give a nigga 7 months. That nigga must have not been doing nothing on the streets. If you really think that nigga was doing the things you're saying and paying for crimes and murders, and in this thing, a cop got killed. And don't take what I'm saying like I'm advocating for Gunna to get more time. I'm just talking about what this does look like. It's either two things. Y'all really didn't think Gunna had to do with shit, so y'all gave him a really good plea. Or y'all got a whole bunch of bullshit case that Thug and Gunna, who got some of the best lawyers in the fucking country, has been pressing y'all about every time. And even though really the judge been keeping y'all from looking too crazy, at the end of the day, y'all got to get a conviction, because if these niggas take y'all to trial and spank y'all out, it's going to be bad. Even though usually in these cases, when you go to trial, it's just too much shit. And it's usually too much shit. You can't beat these cases, kind of. But also, I think about the DA, maybe they were pump faking when they say they got 300 witnesses. So you got 300 witnesses and gave this nigga 7 months. Maybe this is cap. That's all I'm saying. So I'm kind of falling back off Fonnie Willis's side. Maybe this whole thing is cap, and then I also think maybe they're just trying to load up on Thug. So they're saying, Gunna, you could go, but Thug, we're gonna get you for everything, because they just gave Gunna, they just gave Thug 2 more charges. So they're down to let Thug out of jail. No, I'm saying it wrong. They're down to let Gunna out of jail immediately, but they just gave 2 other charges to, even though they're really minor charges. They gave 2 more charges to Thug. Who knows? Maybe they're just trying to settle all this. I don't know. Okay? All right. Anyway, this out for plea. Hold on. Let me see. Let me, what we probably going to have to look up, and this is what I'm going to try to get educated on if I indulge in longer conversations about it. So I kind of understand what the plea is. I don't know the frequency with it's given out, but not only that, I don't know if sometimes that could be a backdoor way to have a nigga cooperate. So that's what I'm gonna have to probably look at. Cooperate. Let me see. Testify. Let me see. Okay, I can't see too much from this. I'm gonna do some more digging on this. Again, the streets ain't gonna like this. The streets only like when niggas do 25 to life. That's how you get the real tag. Oh, you got 20, real nigga. Damn, his lawyers did an amazing job to get him off. Snitching. You get what I mean? All right. Anyway, we're gonna dive into that. Matter of fact, yo, memes, yo, send me some shit for YouTube that I could post, please. Send me some shit that I could post to YouTube. Not YouTube. I mean, Twitch. Not Twitch. Instagram. Fuck. I don't mean Instagram. All right, cool. We're back to this Tory case, man. This shit is riveting. I knew this type of fuckery was going to happen. Didn't I call it when I was talking to Dennis Byron? I said, something doesn't seem right. And for whatever reason, I'm not calling him biased, but he seemed very, he wasn't trying to entertain the idea that maybe Kelsey had the gun. And I was like, it's probably a good possibility she had the gun. And if she had the gun, she just holding a gun. That's how they was trying to get young boy in that case. Oh, we seen you holding a gun. They was trying to give him fed time over that. He had to get all that evidence thrown out so he could be the case. So Kelsey, if in her testimony says she was holding the gun at all, that's basically almost just snitching on yourself, right? Because you could be charged for that. And theoretically, you would be charged for that. Okay. Anyway, let's see some updates from Nancy Dillon, which, by the way, I guess I was proven right. I want to hear if Mr. Dennis Byron's going to tell. Listen, I know he's many years my senior, but trust me, people be asking me, yo, how you be knowing all this law stuff? I've been covering indictments, especially like when it comes to rappers and shit like that, for a long time. And I really got ahead by starting reading these bitches and looking at motions and shit like that. It after you look at it enough, you kind of become a ghetto lawyer. So that's kind of what I kind of think I am. Anyway, let's read some of the updates. So this is from Nancy Dillon. Good morning. This is day 3 from Tory Lanez felony assault trial in Los Angeles. By the way, did you see the thing where she was walking into court? So Kelsey walking into court this morning, right? Shorty's walking into court. Actually, I didn't post it, but Shadow did. Kelsey's walking into court. And I don't know who this nigga is. He's always outside court. He always got a good one-liner, bro. He always got a good one-liner, bro. Listen to him.
How you feeling today? You good? Are you nervous? Are you nervous? How do you think the case is going? You know?
Keep listening.
Kelsey, how you feeling?
You're a little zesty.
Kelsey, why you shoot that girl?
Nah. Yo, Kelsey, why you shoot that girl? Yo, I think it's the same nigga. Yo, Meg, why you lie on that boy? Kelsey, why you shoot that girl? Like, nah. We got to find out who this nigga is. We need him on the goddamn live stream. Somebody tell this nigga, man, get on my live stream, man. Salute to our Playful Anxiety, our beautiful chat queen. She's out here donating subs left and right, man. Y'all got to salute to all the women who watch me, man. I could if you watch me already, your morals probably don't align with some of the degeneracy you probably see on these other platforms. But shit, we got women over here on the chat nigga platform. They gifting subs to dudes. They asking dudes for shit, trying to scam them. They giving it out. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, so that happened. Okay. Let me keep reading. Meg Thee Stallion's former friend, Kelsey Harris, is expected to testify and corroborate Meg's story that Tory shot the Savage rapper in both feet. By the way, I can't wait till we get to the cross. And by the way, if Tory's lawyer is worth any type of dollar, which he seems like he's been doing his thing so far. Remember, I said he could have went harder on Meg, but I think I've accepted that you can't go too hard on the victim. You can't badger the victim. And keep in mind, remember, Tory fired his female attorney for this male who's already in court being a little bit like, yo, we ain't having this shit. Y'all not railroading my client. So if he's pressing Meg, the jury might be like, you know what I mean? Might look away. But Kelsey, he got to press Kelsey. He got it. I know she's a woman, but he got to press her. Because he got to press her and say, well, Kelsey, you didn't plan to show up here and testify today. You invoked the Fifth Amendment, to which the prosecutor had to guarantee a immunity deal for you to even be testifying. Could that be because you were the actual fucking shooter? I'm sorry. That's how you got to give it up. He got to deal with her wicked. He got to deal with Kelsey wicked on the stand, bro. Trust me. By the way, couple things, and I'm going back to what me and Milagros was talking about, right? When Milagros said that, they asked Kelsey, yo, Kelsey, do you feel any way that Tory's here while you're here? She says, no, I don't give a fuck. That kind of tells me maybe she don't got some hatred and vitriol for Tory. You know, Meg been trying to see, Meg says she's trying to see Tory under the jail. So here's why I say that, though. Maybe Kelsey, while getting her immunity deal, is also here to use this platform to show how fucked up an individual Meg was. What has she done so far? She's pointed out, yes, well, first of all, me and Tory was fucking. Meg definitely took the nigga from me. Meg snaked me. Like, Meg was acting up, dumb drunk. Kylie kicked her out. That's what I'm saying. The prosecutor got to be like, the prosecutor's asking these questions, which should go in line with his like narrative. And everything Kelsey's saying ain't really slamming Tory. It's slamming Meg. But keep in mind, Kelsey already got the immunity deal. Who gives a fuck who did the shooting? She don't got to point at Tory at all. She could just get off her chest what she been trying to get off. And maybe this is a good way to pay it back to Meg, because in reality, she was probably thinking that, Meg, you know you're going to need me as a witness. And Meg was probably thinking, well, you know you probably could get charged. Well, she's not going to get charged, so she can say whatever the fuck she want to say. Kelsey has finessed the best thing out of everything. And let me tell you what I believe happened. This is what I believe. We'll find out probably what happened, and maybe it'll come out and cross. Remember, Kelsey was supposed to testify back in November. That was the first time people knew that Kelsey was going to be a prosecution's witness. What does that tell me? It tells me that while making their witness list, preparing for trial, the prosecutor, who probably would vet all the people that could potentially get on the stand, had a conversation with Kelsey. They said, Kelsey, listen, we're going to call you to the stand. Listen, we're going to subpoena you anyway, whatever. We want to call you to the stand, and then you could testify for whatever, right? I could imagine that Kelsey and a lawyer would probably have this conversation with them then. Hey, listen, we're down to do this, but we want some, promises that no matter what is said, my client can't get charged for nothing that happened that night. They were probably hesitant on giving her the immunity deal then. They were probably just giving her promises. Hey, listen, trust me, we wouldn't call you to the stand if we were trying to prosecute you. That would be unethical, this, that, and third. Sounds good, but you can't. You listen to a cop saying, yo, if you tell me the truth right now, I'll let you go. If a cop pull you over and be like, nigga, tell me the truth right now, I'll let you go. If a cop pull you over, you got a dirty gun in the car, and he say, yo, bro, tell me if you got a gun in the car, and I'll let you go. You gonna tell him? Okay. So I think Kelsey and her lawyer plots to do what they did today. Okay, they're gonna subpoena us anyway. We're gonna have to come in. How about we just pretty much we're gonna play into what this lawyer is saying, or the prosecutor is saying. Nah, of course. Like we'll Tory did shoot her. We'll say that on the stand. Now she needs to be the extra star witness today, because Meg did a good job, but she could really put the nail in Tory's coffin. Allegedly, we haven't seen Tory's side yet. We haven't seen if Tory's taking a stand. We haven't seen if what those other witnesses are gonna say. But to make the prosecution's case as strong as it could be, Kelsey needs to be A+ witness. Except Kelsey shows up and they start asking her, and Kelsey clams the fuck up. I plead the fifth. And I might be wrong, but I'm going off the conversation I had with Milagros. The prosecutors say to Kelsey, yo, we're not gonna charge you. Like we told you, we're not gonna charge you for whatever you say on. That sounds good. Even though, by the way, if they say that in open court, you could always use that, right? You know what I mean? Like sometimes that could be almost like a, you could kind of even argue that might be an immunity deal in itself, right? But to be actual correct, and that's why you got your lawyers. We want better than that. We want it in writing, or we want it on the record that it will not be used against her no matter what. Okay, they say, all right, it won't, which tells me that they need Kelsey. And what it also tells me, let's say, in my theory, I don't know who's the shooter. I say the shooter could be Kelsey, right? Could be Tory, could be Kelsey. I don't know. We've tried to figure it out. Could be Kelsey, could be Tory. The prosecutors shut the door on saying it could be Kelsey. They only want Tory. Or probably it's a PR play. Yo, y'all, this is the y'all in LA Superior Court. This is the district attorney's office for Los Angeles. You can't let a 5'2" leprechaun nigga embarrass the entire DA's office after for 2 years y'all were parading around that once y'all get to trial, Y'all about to do this nigga in. Keep in mind, allegedly, they've been throwing out some pleas late game, trying like, yo, nah, you sure you don't want this plea? Tory said, nah, fuck that. Let's go to trial. Maybe so they're trying to avoid the L. So to avoid the L, they're giving Kelsey an immunity deal. Except Kelsey's now got the immunity deal, and because it's not an immunity deal that probably also promises that she needs to say X, Y, and Z, only thing she probably got to say is that Tory shot her, which they're going to get to, right? She's now adding all the other contextual shit, which the DA has always omitted, but the contextual shit that kind of make Meg look like a piece of shit, but kind of also inevitably make it seem like she was fighting with Meg, which would also kind of bring some credence to the theory that she pulled the gun and she tried to shoot Meg, right? She already got, again, it don't matter what y'all niggas think. It only matter what could be proven in court and what she could be held or found guilty for. And she got the immunity deal. So even if we end the trial and they say Tory not guilty and we all think that Kelsey did it, Kelsey's just going to be sitting up here and writing a book on this shit because she can't go to jail. And she's not no public persona anyway. You know what I mean? And of course, I've always thought that Tory's relationship or lack of relationship, but publicly, Tory and Kelsey have never crossed paths in disrespecting each other, in throwing mud. When Kelsey went live to talk about anything, she kept it straight at Meg. Tory's never thrown Kelsey under the bus, saying, oh, I'm dealing with, no, it's always, even in the songs, Tory don't say, I'm dealing with two drunk bitches. He don't say none of that. He keep it at Meg. I just think it's interesting to know. Okay? Yes, Gunna is free. Gunna cut a plea of a lifetime. Yo, y'all want me to tell y'all something that's going to fuck y'all head up? Do y'all want me to tell y'all something? Yo, we go back to T.I. shit real quick, and I'm going to go back. I got to jump all over the place, man. This Big Act News Network. Y'all run up them subs. We the hottest in the game by far. What the fuck is this? Got this shit on my mic, some red shit. I might think I'm a blood. I might take this off. Like, anyway, chat. I'm gonna fuck y'all man up real quick. I'm gonna fuck y'all man up. T.I. lawyer, Fed case. Look, Georgia criminal lawyers helped T.I. get a sweet deal. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. T.I.'s lawyer. T.I. lawyer. Hold on. T.I. did a interview with his lawyer.
Damn.
Who got him off.
As a defense and that early on. And so that's important.
This is a big wig in Atlanta. His name is Steve Sado. T.I. brought his lawyer that got him off that case on his podcast. Remember, all them silences. T.I. gun case. Let me show you the guns again one more time. Couple grenades, couple landmines, couple bombs, couple C4s. Feel me? This nigga has some shit that you would think that T.I. was funding the cartel, man. This ain't what him, but it was this type of shit. Feel me? Why do you need a grenade? His lawyer, Steve Sado, he got that deal. Unprecedented deal. Gunna lawyer. I wonder who he is. Actually, he has a couple different lawyers, but the law firm that's his main lawyer is, nigga, I could just, come on, it's just Steve Sado, bro. Okay, Steve Sado. That video, Steve Sado was on Zoom. Gunna's attorneys request fourth hearing. Steve Sado. Hey, if you don't clap 59 niggas, hire Steve Sado, nigga. I don't give a fuck what niggas say. Steve Sado, he's cutting the craziest deals in history. He got T.I., who had silencers, grenades, landmines, C4s. Nigga had everything, nigga. Little rocket launcher. Ronald number 9 shit. Everybody says, how did T.I. get that deal? Gunna wanna. Gunna to be released. After pleading guilty, you wanna know who his lawyer is? That just negotiated this plea? This out for a plea? Steve Sado. Steve Sado, man. Let me tell you this. That boy's going, and I'm saying boy, but not to be disrespectful. Steve Sado is going to be, if you not dropping 5 to 10 mil on this nigga, you gonna be in jail for the next 50 years. This dude is putting up 70. How the fuck did he get Gunna out of jail? Nigga, how? Nigga, this is a magic trick. I don't know. He's free. He's free. Nigga, I remember the T.I. shit. I was like, damn, we ain't gonna see T.I. till like the 22nd century. They're like, nah, that nigga coming out 2 weeks. Like, what? How? Where? How did this happen? Until I got into realizing it's all about the lawyers. This dude done got Gunna 6 months for a RICO charge, while Casanova they're recommending for Casanova to get 20. They're recommending for Casanova to get 20 years. Gunna, 6 months. It's good lawyers for workers. All right, we here, chat. Holy. We're back to the Tory case, most likely. Here we go.
Oh my God. When we walked out of that courtroom just now, every single person was shocked. Every single person was frozen. A lot of people were looking at me like, bro, tell me what is going on. Kelsey took the stand. Before she even started talking, there were fireworks. This started with Kelsey coming in and saying she is invoking her Fifth Amendment right to remain silent.
Chat, why niggas never give me the credit when I be predicting shit? Nigga, I don't gotta show up to court, nigga. I do everything from the crib.
And not testify. When someone invokes the Fifth Amendment, they have to be invoking it because if they were to testify, they would be giving testimony that incriminates themselves. She said, I will not testify because I would be giving testimony that I'm incriminating myself. That's what it means when she invoked the Fifth Amendment. Now, the government offered her immunity. They said that we will not prosecute you and use this testimony against you. So please.
Remember, Byron said there are no immunity deals in state court. Come on, Byron. You know how many cases I've covered, brother?
Testify. Her lawyer came back and said, well, that's not good enough. I don't want you to just not use her testimony against her. I want you to confirm to me that you will not prosecute her for any crimes arising out of this instance, out of this situation.
From that
the
night.
Prosecutors said, yes, on the record, we will not be charging Kelsey for anything that came out of this incident. And then she testified. I'm going to go over the whole testimony in the next video, but here's
Better Call Ack. Nigga, I'm like Better Call Saul out here, bro. Better Call Big Ack.
the piece that we just left off at lunch. The courtroom is just, I can't even explain the tension. They asked her, at one point, did Tory ever say that I'll shoot you? And she said, I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right, which suggests, they asked her, what's the context? When did he say I'm going to shoot you? She said, I invoked the Fifth, which suggests that the context was Kelsey was doing something, perhaps Meg was also doing something that would incriminate her. That's the context. That's what I get from it. That's my opinion. That's my read of it. For those of you who have been telling me that I'm biased and that there's only...
Or after that, she said to Tory, nigga, I'll shoot you.
Only one angle to this story, and that a man pulled a gun and shot 5 times at another woman, and that the prosecutors haven't charged him with attempted murder. But I'm biased. If you believe the story that a man pulled a gun and shot 5 times at another woman, he hasn't.
Hey, chat, I need him on the stream tonight. I need y'all to blow it up. Big Act needs you tonight. Tonight, nigga. Fuck CNN, nigga. We the news. We need him on tonight. We need him on tonight.
been charged with attempted murder, and now you have another woman in the car saying, I plead the fifth. Oh my
Let's
God.
keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
All right, you heard the bombshell from this morning. Let me catch you up on the rest of Kelsey's testimony. They asked her, how are you feeling? She said, I don't want to be here. They asked her, what's triggering you? She said, quote, lies from Megan. She was asked, what lies?
Stop. What did I tell? See? And I said it before I said it. I did not just give y'all, listen, I got like 30,000 people watching now. Didn't I just tell y'all? My nigga, once she got the immunity deal, her goal is just to show y'all that Meg, who she never got her lick back on, is a fucking fraud. That's all she came for, bro. You're telling me you're sitting in front of Tory, and the defense is already hinting that you're the shooter, and you're not triggered over people trying to basically say you're the shooter. You're more triggered about Meg not telling the whole story about who fucked who and who was cooking what in the house and who was fighting with Kylie. Told y'all, she got the fucking immunity deal, and the prosecutor gonna end their cross pretty quick. They gonna get to the shooting shit because they got to, and they gonna end not their cross. They gonna end their direct because they gonna realize they fucked up by putting Kelsey on the stand. Kelsey is gonna say what they want to say, that Tory shot her, that Tory shot Meg. But every other detail she's given is going to make Meg look like a fucking fraud. And it's going to open up room for Tory's attorneys to come back around and make it look like, to keep it real, you did the shooting. Here we go.
All right, you heard the bombshell from this morning. Let me catch you up on the rest of Kelsey's testimony. They asked her, how are you feeling? She said, I don't want to be here. They asked her, what's triggering you? She said, quote, lies from Megan. She was asked, what lies? That I betrayed her, that I am a bad friend, that I took hush money. Was asked, how do you feel about the allegation that you shot Megan? She said, that's ridiculous. She was asked, how did you meet Tory Lanez? Me and Meg both met him at the same time at a Rock Nation brunch. She continued that after they met, Meg wanted to hook Tory up with Kelsey, that did happen, that Kelsey and Tory were engaged in an intimate relationship, that Kelsey got COVID, went back to Texas, and during the time she was back in Texas, having left LA, Tory and Meg started getting it on. They talked about the night of the incident. They got to Kylie Jenner's house around 3 to 4 p.m. She was a great witness, by the way. She answered everything extremely knowledgeably, extremely truthfully. I believe every word she said. She never seemed like she was trying to hide something, except when she pled the fifth, of course. Now, she's clarified this was not a party. Those were just people hanging out. There was maybe 5 or 6 people before Tory got there. There was a lot of alcohol. She said at one point she did pass out. When she woke up, Tory was there. They were all in the pool. They were having fun. She confirmed a lot of the speculation. Tory was hooking up or trying to hook up, flirting with Kylie in the pool. Meg was very agitated, trying to leave with Tory. Tory did not want to leave. She contradicted Meg's testimony. Meg said, I don't remember ever leaving once and then coming back. Kelsey testified they all got in the car. They left without Tory as they were going.
Hey, I don't want to call it too early. So Meg said that they never returned when they left. And the other witness says, of course we came back. I don't want to call it too early, chat. I don't want to call it too early. These DAs can't be this, like, dimwit. No way. They're usually smart individuals. No way.
And Meg is rambling, being just weird, and then says, I forgot my slipper. Let's go back. They all go back to get her slipper. Then they grab Tory. Kelsey didn't go.
Hey, I hate to pause it, but let me break it down. Meg's crazy drunk. Kelsey just woke up. Like, there's some shit going on with Kylie, which Meg never wanted to bring out because the media would run wild with it. There's another thing I kept telling y'all. Kylie, and Meg almost got into it. Meg is super drunk. Meg, allegedly, supposedly, Kylie lost something. Meg kind of like finds it or whatever. Meg makes a spectacle out of it and uses a race card. You know, she's drunk. She'll know how that she's coming across obnoxious and belligerent. Here's your shit. I don't want y'all to say it's the black girls that took it. Here it is. Like, Kylie's like, whoa, chill. Tory ain't even there yet. Tory's not even there. So if you're thinking I got it from Tory, Tory not at the party yet. This is before Meg dumb drunk, allegedly. Tory comes. He's risen up on Kylie. Don't this make sense now? Basically, Shipman getting a little bit extra. They're trying to tell Meg, just let's dip because you're getting energy from Meg, the security, and everybody that Meg been wilding. Kylie really, they leave. Meg is tight that Tory is staying there trying to spit. She feels a disrespect. Nigga, I'm fucking you. I brought you to the party. Why the fuck is you staying back trying to kick game to another bitch? They leave. You think she ain't realized she ain't had her slipper when they first left? She made up a fucking reason to go back to go snatch that little bald-headed leprechaun looking nigga. Let's go get that nigga, man. No fuck. I ain't gonna let that nigga just go fuck with some other chick. Cop locking. Come on, man. You don't gotta be a dummy to figure it out. Make up in this. Yo, you ever seen a chick just leave her bra or leave some dumb shit at your house? Oh yeah, I gotta come back over and go get. Go back. They get into a situation. You're gonna hear Kelsey say it. There's a situation that happened, argument, loud argument. Kylie then tells Meg directly, you have to leave. Security jump in. They're not with that ghetto fuckery. Bring that down the hill, shorty. Bring that back to wherever the fuck you came from. Escort these hooligans out of here. And so the story continues. Haven't I been telling you that story for like months now? Haven't I been telling you that story for months? Let me run it back one more time.
All right, you heard the bombshell from this morning. Let me catch you up on the rest of Kelsey's testimony. They asked her, how are you feeling? She said, I don't want to be here. They asked her, what's triggering you? She said, quote, lies from Megan. She was asked, what lies? That I betrayed her, that I am a bad friend, that I took hush money. She was asked, how do you feel about the allegation that you shot Megan? She said, that's ridiculous. She was asked, how did you meet Tory Lanez? Me and Meg both met him at the same time at a Rock Nation brunch. She continued that after they met, Meg wanted to hook Tory up with Kelsey, that did happen, that Kelsey and Tory were engaged in an intimate relationship, that Kelsey got COVID, went back to Texas, and during the time she was back.
Maybe I should. I might keep this later. You know the only reason why Meg told her best friend, no, you go fuck with Tory. You know who Meg was fucking with then? That's the only reason why. Meg won everything. But Meg had a situation. Let me keep that quiet right now. Okay? Come on, man. Big Act knows it all.
Back in Texas, having left LA, Tory and Meg started getting it on. They talked about the night of the incident. They got to Kylie Jenner's house around 3 to 4 p.m. She was a great witness, by the way. She answered everything extremely knowledgeably, extremely truthfully. I believe every word she said. She never seemed like she was trying to hide something, except when she pled the fifth, of course. Now, she's clarified this was not a party. Those were just people hanging out. There was maybe 5 or 6 people before Tory got there. There was a lot of alcohol. She said at one point she did pass out. When she woke up, Tory was there. They were all in the pool. They were having fun. She confirmed a lot of the speculation. Tory was hooking up or trying to hook up, flirting with Kylie in the pool. Meg was very agitated, trying to leave with Tory. Tory did not want to leave. She contradicted Meg's testimony. Meg said, I don't remember ever leaving once and then coming back. Kelsey testified they all got in the car. They left without Tory. As they were going, Meg is rambling, being just weird, and then says, I forgot my slipper. Let's go back. They all go back to get her slipper. Then they grab Tory. Kelsey didn't go in at that point when they went back. But when they came out, Meg came out with Tory, and Meg said to Kelsey, bitch, Kylie told us it's time for us to go. Tory drops the bombshell that he had been hooking up with Meg. Kelsey did not know this. The first time she learned this is in that car. That's when the argument ensues. That's when just lots of arguing is going back and forth. The prosecutor really tried to pin it down and make it look like the argument was only between Tory and Meg, and Kelsey was adamant that everybody was arguing with each other. It was a mess. She confirmed that Meg was dissing Tory's career, his skills as an artist. This stuff all crescendoed. The prosecutors asked her about, was there ever a threat made by Tory to shoot? She said yes. Prosecutor asked her, what's the context? She said, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. You can only invoke your fifth if the testimony that you are compelled to give will incriminate you, meaning that the context around the threat, if Meg will not tell us, if Kelsey tells us, it would incriminate her. All right, you heard the bombshell from this morning. Let me catch you up on the rest of Kelsey.
Boom, chat. Let me fill in some gaps. By the way, this is guessing, but you know, I happen to be a good guesser sometimes. Yeah, Tory said, yeah, I'll shoot you after he heard someone else threaten to shoot somebody else. We will see, people. I see a lot of people captivated about Gunna. Holy shit. Historic plea, man. Gunna is back. I always was mad that I never got a chance to hear him perform Banking on Me. That's one of my favorite songs. Let's see. Gunna is back. Ivan? You think I got inside? No, chat. I kid you not. I don't got inside info. Well, like certain stuff I do know because I've heard just narratives and not narratives. I've heard the story. I really don't know who pulled the trigger. And when I come up with the fighting for the gun shit, I promise y'all, I've never heard that, but it only makes sense. It makes sense because I heard, Meg's beating. I never heard that Meg was beating Tory's ass, but I hear they were in an altercation. But Meg is beating the best friend pretty badly, or at least like maybe not beating her where she's like bloody, but overpowering her. And if people are drunk and you getting overpowered by a woman, and just think about where the gunshots is fired. Like I knew from the get-go, she said she got shot, but that didn't look like a bullet wound. That means she got hit by bullet fragments. So it's using, like, I think if you got a brain, you will figure this shit out. And I was on the Joe Budden podcast. I said two things. I said, it depends on what you care about in this trial. Do you care if Tory actually did it or not? Or do you care if Tory will get found guilty or not? Let me explain the deal, friends. Again, I don't know if he did it. Might lean one way or the other, but I don't know if he did it, right? The case looked weak. And if Tory wasn't a celebrity, and if Meg wasn't a celebrity, it would have never got picked up. That's why that's why even if Tory did it, right? Let's just pretend he did it, right? The prosecutor's looking stupid. Meg is looking like a liar. And shit, even if he did it, he probably gonna beat it. That's what I'm trying to say. The case is weak. But everybody, even Meg, said we're going to deal with this in a court of law, and whatever the court of law says, we going to rock with. Well, this is what the court of law is saying now. Now, did he do it? If he ain't do it, he know who did it. I'm speaking to y'all straight. If Tory ain't do it, he know who did it. And I do look at it, and I remember I used to say, the first thing I used to say about this kid, I said, Tory, nigga, just say what happened. The nigga went through, he got crucified for 2 years. You lie on me for like 2 minutes, thing. I'm telling you exactly what happened. Fuck that, I ain't doing it. This bitch did it right here. Stupid. And you can say, on a stitch this and third. Cool. That probably is. That might be the thing. But it creates some doubt. So what I'm saying is, no matter what, I might lean, and this is what I think my opinion is going to be at the conclusion of this trial. I'll never know who actually fired the bullet. Tory's basically hinting and saying it's Kelsey. Kelsey's hinting and saying it's Tory. but they're both not going at each other. They're both still going at Meg. One of them did it. I don't know who did it. Now, let me just talk about the case. I don't think he's going to get... so far, I think if you a juror, and again, I'm not in court, but I'm reading and I'm analyzing everything that we're hearing coming from court, and I know I'm not seeing body language and all these things and certain exhibits and all these, phone calls and whatever that could be played that maybe could, bring you to tug on those, emotion, heartstrings or whatever. But remember, they got to prove the case beyond a shadow of a reasonable doubt. And I'm hearing a lot of doubt. I'm hearing a lot of fucking doubt. I'm hearing so much doubt, we think the person who shot him is on the stand. Not the person sitting in the defense chair. We think that person's in the stand. So then you look at the goddamn DA. Why did you bring this case? Why did you bring this case for your second star witness to pretty much embarrass you by dissing the first? Because they're women and they're still petty. She said the thing she's most mad about ain't that that the defense is kind of hinting that she did it. She most mad about that Meg keep lying on her. She still got to axe the ground with Meg. You got two chicks beefing as your star witnesses. This is a mess. You don't got no smoking gun. You don't know anybody who saw Tory do it. And even some of the witnesses said they think it might be the woman that did it. Why did you bring this case? But now y'all brought this case and y'all ripped apart Tory's life for 2 years. So because y'all did that, even if he did do it, we're gonna go with what the fuck the court said. And right now it's just not looking good for the prosecution, I think. Anyway, back on Gunna. My boy Gunna. Let me see. Has he posted anything yet? Yo. Oh, let's see. You know who Gunna looking like right now? Drewski released from jail. You ever seen this? This Gunna right now. This Gunna right now. This Gunna right now.
Home free! Home free! Let go! Let go! That bit my tape, boy. Big, boy. Well, I see it, boy.
No, this Ray.
That little Ray.
Man, this ain't
That
Ray.
little Ray.
Hey, Ray. What the fuck,
That
man?
little Ray.
Hey.
That little Ray.
Yo, if y'all ask me, I kid y'all not, they probably offered Gunna this like in the first 3 weeks. Gunna was like, yo, bro, let me stay at least 6 months, nigga. That niggas don't look at me too crazy. Like, yo, let me just hang out for 6 months. That niggas don't look at me too crazy, bro. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, nobody's ever taken a guilty plea, but allegedly he's not a guilty plea and not done more than a year in jail. And then they say, yo, finesse it in a way where I could tell niggas I took 5 years. Remember I told you, 5 years for Gunna. Did I say that? But the mere fact the judge said 4 of those years are suspended, nigga, what? What's Gunna's record? I gotta see. Does Gunna have any felony convictions? He must be a choir boy. Not choir boy like he not a street nigga, because that's what you say, he a street nigga. But like he must not have any, like, he must not be a felon. Nigga, they gave him 6 months and 4 years suspended. I don't know. That's kind of wild, man. Again, I'm happy that he got out because, you know, he clearly ain't had too much to do with nothing. But I'm wondering how this plea affects the rest of the case. And again, unfortunately, with these high-profile cases, we're seeing situations where the prosecution is playing a PR game. Fonnie Willis, we know her name. We know the DA's name. If Fonnie Williams don't put some hard years behind Thug and the rest of them, she's going to look like a fraud because she acted like she got the most violent criminals off of the streets, but then you gave them all a few months. She's going to look like a fraud. So I'm wondering, what is this angle in here? Because Why even give this plea right now? By the way, the trial is not scheduled. The trial is not scheduled till March. No, not March. It's not March. They're saying it's going. The trial would have started mid next year. Some people are saying it's a possibility because 8 of the people who are charged with this conspiracy charge or this racketeering charge, they don't even have lawyers yet. There's 300 witnesses allegedly. People still don't got lawyers. A lot of shit that got to get moved around. A lot of people whose motions haven't been even responded to yet. A lot of people believed, well, they might get to this case, or the conclusion of this case would definitely be 2024. We ain't get out of 2022, nigga, and Gunna's out. And he's not out on bail, right? They refused to give him bail. They were saying he's so bad. They denied him bail 4 times. He's such a threat to everybody and whatever. He's such a threat to everybody. They wouldn't give him bail 4 times. But 3 weeks later, they say, oh, we're letting him out. Case closed. Nigga, what? Again, this has to be some type of strategy. I don't know. Again, I keep telling y'all, man, that boy Sado right here, he a bad boy, man. He got T.I. off of silences. He got motherfucking Gunna off of a RICO. And T.I. did a year and a day. Gunna is going to be known to do like 6-7 months. This is crazy. Somebody says, YB got a 10-year suspended sentence. Well, here's the thing, though. When YB caught that charge, he was under 21. And usually when they're sentencing people for that's under 21, they'll give them a chance like that. It was a drive-by. They gave him, they look, NBA YoungBoy suspended sentence in 2017. That was 5 years ago. That's when he pled guilty. The case he caught when he was like 16, I believe. Yeah, he was on probation for, yeah. So he was, let me see, how old is he now? How old is NBA YoungBoy? NBA YoungBoy is 23. This probably happened in 2016. He got the thing in 2017, but that case arose from something that happened in 2016 or 2015. If you look at the time, 23 minus 6, 17, right? Just do the math. Again, he was a juvenile at that point. So, you know, they're not just trying to say, hey, here's 10 years of your life. Even though, you know, by the way, he was accused of doing some real shit. You know what I mean? He's accused of being in a fucking drive-by, which is just stealing from the candy store or whatever. But they gave him a chance. Obviously, mad people vouched for him, this, that, and third. And that's how he got that. So I'm not saying a suspended sentence is a I'm not saying a suspended sentence is means you're telling or nothing like that. I didn't say that. A lot of people have gotten suspended sentences. I'm just saying, look at the time with which this plea has been reached. Unless we're about to see a bunch of dominoes fold, the timing of this is just a little bit odd to me. I don't know. I'm going to look more into it. Hopefully I could talk to an attorney who probably is familiar with Fulton County courts, and they could probably, explain why this is going down. Still, regardless, I love Gunna's music. What's the problem, right? I don't really give 2 fucks about a snitch and shit. Y'all be arguing about snitch and shit. Y'all be calling T.I. a snitch. That's my nigga. I like T.I. I don't care. Bro, first of all, me and 6ix9ine is cool, bro. I don't give a fuck. I'm not no street nigga like that, bro. I'll talk about the technicalities of it, which y'all might call snitching, but I don't give a fuck if he did snitch or not. That's for y'all street niggas, and y'all made up like theories. These are millionaires who want to be home with their kids and want to keep getting money and rocking their ice and not rocking a fucking metal bracelet, just sitting in a cell by themselves. No, you know what I mean? Like, gonna want to go back to the streets to do some whippets, sip some lean, and you ain't gonna get to do it too comfortably without tasting fecal matter because the nigga smuggled it through his ass in jail. My nigga trying to get back to the free world, brother. That's what it is. So if y'all want to call Gunna or anybody else a snitch, that's y'all, but I don't give 2 fucks. You get me? Let my man gun out of jail so he could do some whippets, man. Anyway, this guy right here, a fucking star. You know how Fat Joe say today's price is not yesterday's price? His price was already high because of T.I. By the way, let me see if I can find a clip where he talks about how he gets T.I. out of that case. Let me see. By the way, I ain't gonna lie to you. This is a bad. Well,
So for the people out there, what are like the intricacies of cooperation? Like, how do you arrive to such a conclusion?
If I don't think I can win,
Mm,
if I don't think that my client's got a chance of winning in a courtroom,
mm-hmm.
and the risk of going forward in a trial far exceeds the chances of me being successful,
Right.
I won't tell them to take the risk. I'll give you a best idea. Let's assume you get caught with a kilo of cocaine.
All right.
Okay,
Just one.
just one.
Colombian
Small amount.
Bam Bam.
Yeah, it's just a weekend's worth.
Okay.
And it's in your vehicle.
All right.
And they've also got a wiretap. And they've got you talking about having just picked it up.
Oh shit.
Right?
Right.
Now, you come to me and say, I want you to represent me. And I say, okay, fine, pay me the fee. Fees paid.
Okay.
Then they say, all right, tell me, what are the chances of me walking away from this? And I look at them and I say, slim to none.
After the fees been
After
paid.
the fees been paid.
he laughing, but that nigga's serious.
You don't get full representation until after you've paid for it. So if they say, well, what are my options? Your options are we can fight as long as we can.
Right.
Or you can decide that you'd like to try to cooperate.
Yeah.
Well, what does cooperation mean? Cooperation, if it's with the feds, means you're selling your soul to the feds. You now become essentially, I hate to say it this way, become a slave to the feds.
Yeah.
And you're going to do what they tell you to do. And if you're not willing to do it and do it all the way, don't do it. Stay out of it because it ain't going to work out.
And that is, I think, why in our culture it's so frowned upon.
Of course it is. And it should be, because it's always been used as a means to take advantage of certain groups.
Absolutely. And I mean, but I'm saying, like, it also makes it to where
you're back into the old days.
Law enforcement doesn't.
By the way, to save y'all some time, the attorney does not really suggest anyone to cooperate, and I think he makes it clear. He's going to make it clear soon. He's going to say he's not going to ever suggest cooperation, and if somebody ever chooses to cooperate, yeah, he'll do his lawyer's job of doing what he got to do, but he not about to wild out for you type shit, because he's here to win cases, and he's talking about going to trial and beating the system. You know what I mean? Not cooperating with them. However, when you
have to do their job as much as defense attorneys like you would have to, and like
sure,
you
it
said,
makes it simple for them.
And like you said, it's reminiscent of when people like Harriet Tubman were forming the Underground Railroad.
But the system is set up, particularly the federal system, with mandatory minimum sentences.
Right.
That you can't get under these mandatory minimum sentences without some form of cooperation.
Right. Why do you think white guys don't really care much about it? Like, like nobody, they don't have any kind of, I don't think they care.
I'd say for the most part, you're correct. But I got to tell you, there are a group who have simply, they take the position, ain't going to happen. I represent someone right now who his position is, I've done what I've done.
That's right.
And I'm going to fight this till the end. And I wind up going away for a long time. That's just the way it works. I knew what I was getting into.
That's solid.
And I'm not putting anybody else in the position that I'm in by cooperating.
And that's solid.
That's fine. It makes it great for me. Then I can just put the conversation aside and say, let's go to war.
Yeah, that's solid. And I think even more so is when people cooperate, not just that, okay, you told on somebody who was connected into this crime, but now you got to tell all the intricate details of the crime and how you were getting away for as long as you did.
Absolutely.
And
Your
okay,
whole history.
and so now you're not just telling on this one person, but essentially you telling on everybody else who committing this same crime after you. You know what I mean?
There's no question about it. That's when the feds want you to cooperate, and I speak about the feds because it's easier to do it on a national basis.
Right.
They expect you to open up and tell them every damn thing you've done and who the hell you did it with.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to tell them, they don't consider it to be real cooperation. And then you got to sit back and say, now I've told you all this. What am I going to get out of it?
Right.
Because they don't want to tell you what it is up front. They want to see your performance first.
Oh man, you know what? That brings me to a phenomenal
I thought you were
question.
going to say it brought you to a commercial.
Nah, not at all. That brings me to a phenomenal question. So there's a huge case, of course, you know, the guy Tekashi 6ix9ine who told his gang members. Now, one thing about, you know, my case, before I entered my plea, we already knew what the time was that I was looking at receiving.
Correct. We had what's called a binding plea deal.
Right.
Which is very, very, very.
This thing is a plea finesser. You hearing all type of different pleas. He just got gun on some plea we had to Google. This thing is a plea finesser.
The time was that I was looking at receiving.
Correct. We had what's called a binding plea deal.
Right.
Which is very, very, very unusual. It almost never happens, and some judges will not accept it.
And okay, so I want to know how we got that for me. And I also want to know,
because we wouldn't accept anything else but that. I wasn't going to give a judge a chance to fuck you over once we entered into it. And unfortunately, that's what would have happened. We had a good judge. We had a good man.
Yes.
But the undercurrent would have been, I'm going to treat him like I've treated others.
Right.
Which meant you were going to jail for a number of years.
Even
I couldn't let that happen.
Yeah. And that's what makes you, you know, like in my eyes, you and the rest of the defense team that represented me, y'all, I think y'all are the best that there are. You know what I'm saying? At least best I know. But for him, so he testified, he cooperated, he did everything that they asked for him to do. He told on motherfuckers wasn't even on the case. He told on Cardi B, he told on Casanova, he told on Jim Jones. He's saying names that's not even on his case. And he was expecting to get out in a month or so. And they said, nah, bro, you still gonna have to do some more time. So imagine, like, so you basically essentially sold your soul, gave them everything it is that you have to give, and you still are at their mercy.
Always. That's what's wrong with the whole system. If you can't cut the deal for certain, which is a binding plea,
right?
You're always at their mercy, because they'll come in and say, well, you know, we didn't promise you anything. We just told you we'd bring your cooperation to the attention of the sentencing judge. And we're doing that. And now we're also recommending you spend some significant time in jail.
Damn, Gunna got a real one, man. My boy Gunna is out of jail as we speak. Chat, did Gunna get out before Chloe Bailey left him? Did Gunna get out before Chloe Bailey left him? Or she, you know what I mean? She's still holding on. You got to salute to the real ones who hold a man down while they're in jail. Commissary, phone calls, everything. Come on now. Let's get to the shade room. Let's go. Oh, shit. Megan Cuniff. I'm back on the 15th floor, lined up to get in Judge Hereford courtroom for more testimony. Tory lawyer admits Meg was shot, but says Kelsey was the one who shot her, not Tory. Holy shit, it is getting interesting now. Let me go. Meg and Cuniff. Let's see if she says anything else. Okay. Oh, okay. We got some updates. Let's go. All right. What is this? This Tory's lawyer right here. Okay, here we go. Trials on 90-minute break, blah, blah. Okay. Following a tense moment. Let me make sure I can see it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Yo, chat, tell me if y'all too tired of this, man. We could change subjects real quick. Or tell me if y'all want me to, you know what I mean, lock in. We could lock in. We don't get everybody in court to give us a little follow-up. Trials on 90-minute break following a tense moment with Kelsey Harris on the stand. Harris' lawyer, so Kelsey's lawyer, told judge this morning that Kelsey planned to invoke the Fifth Amendment, which is her right against self-incrimination. But prosecutors granted her immunity, so she is testifying. But Kelsey really struggled when the deputy DA, Kathy Ta, asked her about Tory threatening to shoot her while they were in the Escalade before Megan exited and was shot. She did not answer. There's a lot to kind of unpack around that. Clearly, she's not telling the full story. I'm wondering if someone grabbed the gun maybe at that time. I know that would contradict what Meg said. Meg said she only saw the gun for the first time when she looked over her shoulder and she saw Tory with the gun. She said she never saw a gun before. But why would Kelsey not just say or answer the sequence of events that happened in the car while everybody's in the car if allegedly Tory was threatening to shoot her? Why was Tory threatening to shoot her, not Meg? Why didn't Tory shoot her and Meg? A lot to answer. She said she did not want to answer. There's a part of me here. This is going to sound crazy. And again, there's no inside intel. I'm trying to just use my brain. Because I always knew this was going to happen. This tweet right here. Look at this tweet. This tweet, I knew was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. That's why she got to stand. That's why prosecutors gave her the immunity deal. And of course, so we knew that Kelsey was going to tell that Tory shot Meg, but we knew Tory's team. Yeah, Kelsey was gonna say Tory shot Meg, but Tory's team was gonna say no, you shot Meg, Kelsey. Look, they're blaming Kelsey. They're saying Kelsey shot Meg, right? That's gonna be what the defense is gonna say this afternoon. Now, let's look back at this, right? In some way, and listen to my theory before y'all call me crazy. Megan, suppose in a weird world, Meg and Kelsey just share a dislike for how, no, not Meg and Kelsey, Tory and Kelsey share a dislike for how Meg has lied about certain stuff since then, made Kelsey look a certain way, not defended Kelsey, said certain stuff about Tory, and also played victim, whether rightly or wrongly. Suppose they both feel like that. Is it out of bounds to think that Kelsey and Tory may be in, I don't want to say cahoots, but I'm trying to, you get what I'm saying? Kelsey and Tory know exactly what's about to happen. Kelsey knows, Tory's team is going to throw it on you. But it don't matter if they throw it on you if you get your immunity deal. You could bait the prosecutor to put you up there, get an immunity deal because she going to know she needs you. Once you get the immunity deal, we're blaming the shooting on you. When the prosecutor asks you about me, don't say nothing crazy incriminating. She ain't saying nothing crazy about Tory yet. Think about it. Kelsey and Tory, they're running a play. Granted, I'm not saying I know who shot nobody, but maybe they might not be as divided as we think. Kelsey knows Tory's team is going to blame it on her, but it don't matter. She got an immunity deal. The prosecutor is going to require Kelsey to say that Tory shot Meg, but if she'll say that, or she'll say, I think, right? She'll be hazy about it. So she'll be hazy. And I think it was, which is going to be hard for her to do because the GSR report only said that you and Tory had gunshot residue on y'all. It's only y'all two. It's not so she could try to wiggle out of that, but she probably won't have to just say, nah, Tory did it. Unless she would, if she does this would, which I just don't think it would happen. Like, this would just break the internet. If she's just like, no, I did shoot Meg. Or she said, no, I was about to shoot Meg. Tory wrestled the gun away from me, and the gun fired while he was wrestling the gun away from me. Or maybe she makes herself a little bit better. Now, Tory had the gun, which I don't think would help Tory that much because Tory's charged with also possession. But let's just say I had the gun. Tory wrestled away from me. The gun got fired while he's wrestling away from me. I was a little bit drunk and mad. I was gonna shoot her and blah blah blah. Da, da, da. They can't charge Kelsey no matter what. Like Kelsey literally could say I shot her, which, by the way, as I said, would break the internet. But the police, the DA can't do nothing about it other than try to do perjury. So even with this immunity deal, it still says it's not that she can't be charged at, anything for that night, but anything she says on a stand in the sense of, lying, she can still be charged with perjury. So that's the only thing they could possibly get her with. But at this point, Kelsey is in the place to say, no, I shot Meg. The fuck is y'all talking about? I don't give two fucks. Kelsey don't got no more horse in the race. She don't like Meg. It ain't like she showed up here to get justice for Meg. She showed up because of a subpoena. She got the deal she needed to get. She could literally say, I shot that bitch. If she says something to that effect or puts herself in a position that seemingly would make it cloudy the narrative to say, well, maybe Kelsey could have done it. Her saying, I did it is wild, right? So probably she won't do that. But if she puts herself in the action or motion of having the gun, I think that's casted such a damaging blow to the prosecutor's statement, right? And the theory that they're hoping the jury buys that Tory just by himself shot Meg, then beat up Kelsey. Also, it's going to be important if she says if Tory punched her in the face and what the context of that is. I think she's going to say, yeah, I don't know what she's going to say, but imagine if she says, I was tweaking. Yeah, I did have the gun. I was trying to scare her. Tory tries to grab it from me. The gun goes off. Whatever happened, like he grabs it, he puts me back in the car, and then I get out the car again, and we all go over to Meg. Who knows? Who knows? This is going to, as I said, Kelsey has the opportunity to end Meg's career right here. She knows. No matter what she says, she can't be charged. We know Meg's career is ended if Kelsey just takes the blame. So how much does Kelsey hate Meg? You know how women are. If Kelsey really hates Meg, now she could just say, I shot her. Tory never had the gun. I did it. Case over. Case over. And Meg is forever looked at as a liar. Tory gets away with probably no convictions. She not charged. Meg just showed up to be looked at as a liar. That's it. Let me send this tweet out. was crafting up a tweet. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. She struggled to when the DA asked her about Tory threatened to shoot her while they were in the Escalade. What does that tell y'all? Either there's something there that she doesn't want to say, even though she signed this deal, she doesn't want to say because it make her look crazy, or she's just not trying to make Tory look too crazy. Because it said that she didn't want to answer that Tory threatened her. Why not? Why not? By the way, keep in mind, she never told the cops Tory threatened her. She never told the cops Tory shot her. No, not shot her, hit her. The prosecutor claims that she was hit. And they're pressing her about the threaten with the shooting part. Look, Kelsey even asked Judge, do I have to answer this? Kelsey even said to the judge, do I have to answer that after Ta asked what Tory said? Yes, the judge told her. Ta asked, what did he do and what did he say? Kelsey answered, can I take my fifth? Keep in mind, she already got an immunity deal. I think this is after the immunity deal. Which means, I guess, the whole strategy here, because she's a little frazzled, the only thing she knows is, let me try to plead the fifth, and hopefully the judge won't force me to answer, and I can talk to my attorney, okay? And so the attorney's walking her through it while Meg came prepared, like, yo, listen, we ain't gonna do no sidebars. There's nothing for you to plead the fifth or nothing with. You just got to fucking handle these questions like a champ. Looked like Kelsey only showed up to plead the fifth, as I expected. The judge allowed Kelsey to consult with attorney Daniel Nardoni privately. Let's Google him. Daniel Nardoni. I think I seen him. I seen this guy. Okay. Law office of Daniel Nardoni. Okay. All right. That's him. Cool. Privately, they returned to the witness stand moments later, but Kelsey again did not want to answer the question when Ta asked about Tory threatening to shoot her. That's interesting. The criminal implications Kelsey's facing here are non-existent. She's not facing shit. The prosecutor said this morning they're not going to charge her with the crime, and that question wasn't one that generally would draw incriminating statements by her, but she really did not want to answer. This is telling me she don't. Bro, this is a play, I think, man. This is a play. This might be hey, listen, I know y'all, for all the people who think I be on Tory's dick, I'm giving an alternate theory that might be going on here. Maybe Tory made the ultimate play in history. Pay off the driver. Send him to Guatemala. Nobody could find him. Change his numbers. Give that nigga some face reconstruction surgery. Stay out the way for a while. Now, all you got to worry about is Kelsey. But we thought Kelsey was just going to come in here and just bang, 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 hitting Tory left and right. What is she doing? She don't want to talk. What everybody's doing, the only person who's saying that Tory did it right now, again, I do think Kelsey's going to say it, but only person saying it is Meg, but everybody keep taking jabs at her credibility. Oh, she a liar. Oh, she misremembered. Oh, she was drunk. Oh, she was this, she was that. Wait, what happened? I said what? Check what? Oh, okay, good. Chest out checkers. Let's go. Back on the witness stands. Kelsey told the DA, again, I want to answer my Fifth Amendment. She was told to answer, so now the judge is getting upset. Sure, you did this already. They promised you that you're not going to get charged. And third, yo, answer the fucking question. The judge has to enforce it. She tries to pull the fifth. No, answer it. But she stayed silent. Holy. The prosecutor asked her, Kelsey, why don't you want to answer the question? I don't know. By the way, the reason why I think this is a play, bro, she came into court. She's smart enough to come with an attorney. She's smart enough to to call for sidebars that her attorney could consult her. Why is she still doing the I don't know shit? I see you, Kelsey. I need you on off the record after this. Todd asked Kelsey about having to testify in front of Tory. Is it? Oh, so the prosecutor said, "Is it because Tory's here? You don't want to say it? Like, what's going on?" The prosecutor's frazzled. The prosecutor got notes on what they've met with Kelsey about before trial and what they think she's gonna say. She's going off script. Kelsey is calling the audible. Yo, I thought we were running the helmet. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing the post. What we doing? Prosecutors trying to figure it out. Is it because Tory's here and you don't want to be here? She says, I don't know. It don't bother me. She says, it's not Tory. I just don't want to be here. The judge is realizing, I think Tory pulled one. I think Tory pulled a fast one. Nah, Tory might have pulled one, bro. Tory might have pulled one. Tory's directly blaming her as the shooter. Indirectly, or Tory's lawyer is trying to paint it that way. And essentially, she don't want to say a motherfucking thing about Tory. I imagine we'll hear more about Kelsey's testimony when it resumes at 1:30. What time is it? Okay. So it's 30 minutes into it. Wishful thinking tactics, wishful/fantastic thinking around here. It'll be more like 1:45. But if Tory hadn't said anything about shooting her, I think her reaction to that question, if Tory hadn't said anything about shooting her, okay. So I guess she's editorializing a little bit. She's saying that Tory probably did say something to that effect, because why, like, if that's not a real event, why would she be like all stuttering, like, I don't know what to talk, I don't know what to say. DA Kathy had a record of previous interview with Kelsey. Didn't I tell you? They got the script that Kelsey's supposed to say. We got the script, shorty. She called an audible in which she talked about Tory threatening to shoot her and asked if she could use it. Look, hey, you forgetting your lines? Shorty, are you forgetting your lines? Yo, bring the book, bring the script. He said, do you want me to use your interview to refresh your memory? Kelsey's answer didn't legally allow for it. Oh, she wild. Yo, Kelsey, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If the second half of your testimony ain't knocking it out of the park for the prosecutor, you should move out of LA. I don't know if you still live there. You better move out of LA. They're gonna be gunning for you. What you're doing right now is equivalent to, like, witness treason. The prosecution think you're gonna say A, and you done flipped it to B, C, and D. They might not catch you with this shit because you got an immunity charge, but trust me, they'll drum something up. For typical recollection refreshments, the witness indicates to the lawyer that, yes, if you show me that, my memory could be refreshed. But Kelsey didn't say anything like that to the prosecutor. She clearly just does not want to talk about it. I think we'll hear more about what happened at Kylie Jenner's house when Lane's lawyer cross-examines Kelsey, but Kelsey didn't clarify for the courtroom that what was happening at Kelsey's, but Kelsey did clarify for the courtroom that what was happening at Kylie's house that night was not a party. It was a few people hanging out. Kelsey, look, she's adamant about what went on at Kylie's house, but don't want to talk about what happened in the car. That's perfect. That's perfect for Tory. And Tory's lawyers ain't get in there yet. By the way, here's the thing too. Remember I said Tory might have made a play? If Tory is not in cahoots with Kelsey, if he's not, his lawyer can't go too hard. I remember I said they got to hammer her, but she ain't blaming the nigga already. The prosecutor, she's supposed to be on the prosecutor's side, and she not throwing the nigga under the bus anyway. So if she not doing it, don't pressure her that she cracks and just start saying, fuck it. You want me to tell you what? Yeah, you don't want that. You want to be like, okay, let's focus on the party. Let's focus on these other things. Let's focus on Let's focus on Meg being a liar. Let's focus on Meg fucking all your niggas. Oh, this is good. This is some movie shit. This is like some Law and Order shit when the prosecutor turn like ask a question and turn his back because he think you know what answer's gonna come out, and the person on the witness stand said, "No, I never seen him shoot the nigga." Be like, what? Wait, you said wait, whoa, hold on. You said, do I need to refresh your memory? You told us in an interview that you saw him shoot a nigga. Remember that one? Oh, I was tired when I did that interview with you guys, and you guys made it seem like you guys were threatening me, so I told you anything you wanted to hear. Fucked up the whole case for him. Holy shit. Let's go. Kelsey steadfast reminded Ta throughout the examination that she should call it a gathering instead of a party. Kelsey also recounted some of what happened at Kylie's house just before she left with Megan and Tory. She says, "I'm sorry, can I cuss?" I'm telling you, they called the play. They asking about what happened in the car. You don't know you can't find the words to explain it. You don't want to be here. What happened at the house? Bitch, could I cuss? Could I really get in my bag and describe all that shit that went on at the crib? Todd says yes. She's like, bitch, we got to get the fuck out. Yeah, see? Come on now. See? Getting animated. You know what it's telling me? She really hates Meg's fucking guts. Really hates her guts. Regarding Kelsey invoking the fifth, then being granted immunity, the judge doesn't allow fifth pleas. Doesn't just allow fifth pleas, no questions asked. Judge Hereford had to have discussed it this morning, but the way things work around LA Superior Court, any member of the public hoping to see that is out of luck. So they're saying that the judge probably listened to reasons why it would be a good it might be a self-incrimination thing for Kelsey to give testimony, and whatever was told to him, right? You probably summed up by the lawyer and co-signed by Kelsey. Obviously, as I said, they only came to do the fifth. And after that, just slander Meg. I ain't gonna lie. So they're saying the judge believed it. So you know what I think that is? That bump was Kelsey either having the gun, fighting for the gun, or somehow possessing that gun. And when she possessed that gun, or maybe she even said something to incite violence, or maybe she started to assault, whatever the case is, the judge believed it, and the judge granted the immunity. Okay? Well, not granted the immunity. The judge allowed the whole pleading the fifth, right? I'm back. Okay. Damn, this is good. This is good, people. This is good. This is good. This is some good shit. This is some good shit, chat. There's another dude who's in court too. I'm gonna go to his page. We got to get it from all sources. He in court too. He works for the LA Times. Here we go. All right. Kelsey Harris, testimony, blah, blah. She showed up with an attorney, granted immunity, this and third. No explanation to immunities for. You won't get it. No comment from Lane's defense attorney, and Harris and her attorney fled the hallway before they could be approached. Kelsey spent little less than 40 minutes on the stand, saying a lot of her memory was partly of the party was blurry because of alcohol consumption. She accused Meg of lying and called accusations she shot Meg ridiculous. She generally painted Meg as drunk and acting out at the party. Told y'all. Chat. Y'all want to ask how I knew all this shit? Y'all want to ask, do y'all? She said Meg was drunk, acting out the party before the fight in the SUV that predated the shooting. Key moments came when the district attorney, Kathy Ta, asked if Lanes had threatened to shoot her. So now she's going off script. And Kelsey took the fifth. Court broke not too long after this. One key point, whether Lanes threatened her or whether Lanes called her and Megan bitches and hoes. Kelsey was non-responsive until the DA reminded her she confirmed both things in a 2022 interview with the prosecution. Bruh, she's going off script. She's calling a fucking audible. This is what I'm trying to say. It's either her hatred for Meg is so much, she's saying what I said before, I'm down to go off that script, or her and Tory called to play. Called that play. Hey, get your immunity deal in the morning, girl. And then once you get your immunity deal, we gonna play. We gonna really let these motherfuckers know what happened in the afternoon when I'm gonna cross you and fuck it. I wouldn't be surprised. If Tory's attorney don't ask her too much about. Remember, Tory's attorneys, Tory's defense team, their whole side is saying Kelsey shot Meg. How much y'all want to bet they don't question Kelsey too much about the actual shooting? They're going to question her a lot about before and a lot about after. And maybe certain random innocuous things like, hey, did you touch the gun? Or, hey, were you behind the gun? Placement. Remember, if this is the play, I think it might be. All you need is for Kelsey to say enough that the jury don't know who shot Meg, whether it's Tory or Kelsey, because they're going to come back with a not guilty. Remember, I asked y'all at the beginning, do y'all care more knowing if Tory really shot her, or do you care more about if Tory will get found guilty? If this is the play, this ain't about finding the truth. This is about getting a case to not go a certain way. Come on now. Dennis Barr and IG, we won't get there too. Hold on. Let me just finish reading this. Court rules, blah, blah. One more thing. Kelsey was granted immunity means the DA office can't use her testimony. In this case, to prosecute her for a crime, it doesn't mean that they're declining to prosecute her for any criminal conduct they become aware of. Well, it depends on what immunity. No. Hold on. And by the way, he said this is an explanation according to a source with a ton of legal experience. I do not have a bar card. The reason why I would say no, if you listen to what Lawyers for Workers said, Kelsey's team, and I could play it again, Kelsey's team said it's not only good enough that you're saying you won't prosecute her for her testimony. You won't use any parts of her testimony. Remember that? Right? You won't use anything from that night. So it don't matter if you didn't become aware of Kelsey doing, if Kelsey had 15 grams of crack and you only found out right now, the deal she agreed to, she can't get prosecuted for. So what this person is talking about, I know he's in court, but I believe my man, Lawyer for Workers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, because I got an immaculate memory, I'm telling you, man, I might have to get a law degree. They already, you know what I mean? The Houston police already sent the badge and the gun. Is this. Listen to this.
Bombshell from this morning. Let me catch you up on the rest of Kelsey's testimony. They asked her, how are you feeling? She said, I don't want to be here. They asked her, what's triggering you? She said, quote, lies from Megan. She was asked, what lies? That I betrayed her, that I am a bad friend, that I took hush money. Was asked, how do you feel about the allegation that you shot Megan? She said, that's ridiculous. She was asked, how did you meet Tory Lanez. Me and Meg both met him at the same time at a Rock Nation brunch. She continued that after they met, Meg wanted to hook Tory up with Kelsey, that did happen, that Kelsey and Tory were engaged in an intimate relationship, that Kelsey got COVID, went back to Texas, and during the time she was back at Texas.
Yo, chat, I'm also going to, listen, one in the chat if you want me to, I'm going to bring in as many people and experts. Listen, man, this is the chat nigga, you know what I mean, news network headquarters, man. I might be able to even get Myron Gaines in, you know what I mean, one of our trusted friends. You know, he's done many years in law enforcement. He used to be a federal agent. He used to also be one of those people when in these type of trials, they would call him to testify. So we need some of his input in here, and we're gonna get him on here pretty soon. Let me see if I can coordinate that. Yeah, we getting everything going on, man.
Texas, having left LA, Tory and Meg started getting it on. They talked about the night of the incident. They got to Kylie Jenner's house around 3 to 4 p.m. She was a great witness, by the way. She answered everything extremely knowledgeably, extremely truthfully. I believe every word she said. She never seemed like she was trying to hide something, except when she pled the fifth, of course. Now, she's clarified this was not a party. Those were just people hanging out. There was maybe 5 or 6 people before Tory got there. There was a lot of alcohol. She said at one point she did pass out. When she woke up, Tory was there. They were all in the pool. They were having fun. She confirmed a lot of the speculation. Tory was hooking up or trying to hook up, flirting with Kylie in the pool. Meg was very agitated, trying to leave with Tory. Tory did not want to leave. She contradicted.
Actually, no. It's this.
Oh my God!
This,
when we walked out of that courtroom just now, every single person.
This has the legal song and dance they did this morning.
Person was shocked.
By the way, I shouldn't say this. Well, actually, I don't got no fucking horse in the race. I know y'all think I'm on Tory's team. I'm just like, I'm just keeping it a bean. If Tory did call a play with this and everything that's happening with Kelsey, maybe he knew that she was going to say that. What's going to tell us is there's probably a connection from Tory's lawyer to Kelsey's lawyer. The lawyer's got to be in cahoots too. Trust. This is, again, it probably is not happening, right? It's probably not happening. So this is my weirdo theory, but I'm just trying to, that lawyer, they would be in cahoots because they can't, the way they executed this immunity deal is crazy. Hold on, let me run it again.
Every single person was frozen. A lot of people were looking at me like, bro, tell me what is going on. Kelsey took the stand before she even started talking. There were fireworks. This started with Kelsey coming in and saying she is invoking her Fifth Amendment right to remain silent and not testify. When someone invokes the Fifth Amendment, they have to be invoking it because if they were to testify, they would be giving testimony that incriminates themselves. She said, I will not testify because I would be giving testimony that I'm incriminating myself. That's what it means when she invoked the Fifth Amendment. Now, the government offered her immunity. They said that we will not prosecute you and use this testimony against you, so please testify. Her lawyer came back and said, well, that's not good enough. I don't want you to just not use her testimony against her. I want you to confirm to me that you will not prosecute her for any crimes arising out of this instance, out of this situation. The prosecutors said, yes, on the record, we will not be charging Kelsey for anything that came out of this incident. And then she testified. I'm going to go over the whole testimony in the next video, but here's the piece that we just left off at lunch. The courtroom is just, I can't even explain the tension. They asked her, at one point, did Tory ever say that I'll shoot you? And she said, I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right, which suggests, they asked her, what's the context? When did he say I'm going to shoot you? She said, I invoked the Fifth, which suggests that the context was Kelsey was doing something, perhaps Meg was also doing something that would incriminate her. That's the context. That's what I get from it. That's my opinion. That's my read of it. For those of you who have been telling me that I'm biased and that there's only one angle to this story and that a man pulled a gun and shot 5 times at another woman and that the prosecutors haven't charged him with attempted murder, but I'm biased. If you believe the story that a man pulled a gun and shot 5 times at another woman, he hasn't been charged with attempted murder, and now you have another woman in the car saying, I plead the Fifth. Oh.
I might have missed it. Did he say the part? My bad, I was texting on mine. Did he say the part where he says the prosecutor said, hey, we're not going to prosecute, blah, blah, blah. based on your testimony, and Kelsey seems that that's not good enough. We want to make sure that nothing from that night. So that's why I only play this to kind of contradict what this means. What this guy is saying is that Kelsey's immunity is only for the testimony. No, it's not only for her testimony, right? Or it's not only for information revealed in her testimony. So, for example, if she says something in her testimony, she can't get charged for that. No, it's for anything that happened that night. They were going to invoke the Fifth Amendment to basically say, hey, if you plan to pursue any legal action or criminal action against me for something that happened that night, I ain't coming up here to tell y'all no story about what happened between all three of us. And they have set their mind, their sights on Tory. They want Tory. And they gave the immunity deal. So I don't agree with this. And by the way, whoever who explained this from that probably does have a license from the bar. Clearly, that's definitely a credible person. I'm not saying I know more than them, but I don't think it was explained. If it's explained in the way that lawyers for workers said it, this wouldn't be needed. And yes, there are certain times I've seen it where you could give a testimony and that testimony is protected. But why would Kelsey only want the testimony be protected? If Tory beats the case, everybody's gonna say, well, if it's not Tory, it's you. So why would you only want protection for your testimony? You want protection overall, because if Tory don't get convicted, they're gonna look at you. So and by the way, she got. I know this is a fact. She has protection overall from anything that happened that night. Anyway, let's keep going. Her attorney asked for transactional. Oh, okay. All right, maybe I'm wrong. Damn, I should have read below. Her attorney asked for transactional immunity, which was broader. It was not granted. Let me see. Well, in that case, she probably has to watch what she says, and she probably has to carefully say things to make sure she could not get charged for them. I don't know. That might be interesting.
Oh my!
Transactional immunity. Transactional immunity, colloquially known as blanket. Okay, that was total immunity. Yes. So total immunity would mean no matter what I did that night, I was smoking crack. You know what I mean? Like I fucking, I cut 3 people's necks. Like, yeah, you just can't get charged for nothing that night. And they did not give her that. Wow, okay. That would be the ultimate win. And maybe they were expecting that. Maybe that's why she's kind of tripping up a little bit. She don't want to say too much. I don't know. I'm going on some theories. Let me see if I can get Myron on here. By the way, Myron was the person who actually gave me the police report who everybody think I got from court. Clearly, people know him from Fresh and Fit, but he's a former agent. He has a channel called Fed at 1911. Does great work, by the way. People didn't realize that, he put that info out before me, but I guess they see me as a bigger platform, so they all just credited me. And sometimes you got to let stupid do what stupid does, right? Okay, if y'all think I brought it to light, okay. And by the way, you know what we also get told? Meg admitted on the stand that she was sending to her team. Hey, she was sending to her team the tweets or anything she felt that was coming from Tory's team. She was like sending to her team that they could, I don't know what they were doing, but they probably sent that when I said I had the police report. Remember, I was going to put out a podcast and I never did because I had I had a recording from the court. Now, granted, the recording I have from the court is also not from Tory, but I realized there was some weird shit happening and I stopped. I didn't put that podcast out because they were thinking everything I'm getting is from Tory. No, the recording, I could tell y'all now, I paid for that recording. There was somebody in court who actually is a journalist who secretly recorded it, and she was secretly shopping it. And I said, Big, I got the funds for that. They said, hey, the recording mentions your name. Do you care to pay for it? I said, I do, and I bought it. Okay, I still have the recording now. Yeah. So again, you got to realize it's Big Act, man. I stay one step ahead of the ops. You heard me? But these motherfuckers were actually they were thinking that, oh no, Tory's leaking everything to y'all. They were talking about me every court date. Yo, act. I'm like, no, y'all lock down y'all courtroom, man. I'm not at y'all court. I'm 3,000 miles away. I just know how to get busy with it. You feel me? All right. Whenever Myron kind of like gets right, we'll get him on Discord. We'll have him on here. We're currently waiting, if you don't know, on a few things. By the way, we have about record numbers. We have 31,000 people right now on YouTube record. We have 7,000 people on Twitch. Everybody's here to see which, by the way, there's more people now than yesterday when because Meg ain't saying nothing. Meg was just crying and fake crying or trying to do whatever she's doing. And again, keep in mind, I know you guys might be tuning in for whatever reason. I'm unbiased. I've given y'all even theories that suggest that maybe Tory did do it. I don't have no fucking horse in the race, okay? But I do think this case is weak, and I don't think I'm losing hope on finding out the truth. I hope at the end of it, no matter what happens, somebody who probably, and I don't think we'll ever get the truth. I just want to really hear what happened, no matter what goes on in the trial. Not too sure if we'll get it. So right now we can only deal with what this trial will yield, and it's looking like it's yielding a lot of pettiness. I think Kelsey came with a petty chip on her shoulder. She don't fuck with Meg. Meg done fuck 5 of her niggas, allegedly. She's over here kind of like, yo, Meg kind of fucked me over. Think about the testimony. I gave up my apartment. I'm living out of suitcase. She said we gonna get a house. I find out later she took the nigga I was talking to. Then she gets into a fight with me, beats my ass, and now I'm without a job. I'm without anything. And who knows? Maybe Tory shows her some good grace, even after the aftermath of this. I'm just working off theories at this point, right? The testimony that's probably happening now is probably explosive, and whoever comes out of court first, we can't wait to get them on the line. Let me see, Mr. Dennis Byron. Let's kind of. Did he say? Is this okay? Let's hear his report of what happened. It's 30 minutes, so we might have to skip around a bit.
Why on her? This is direct examination. This is the prosecution very early on getting that out from.
By the way, is anybody going to tell Gramps that, or Unc? Anybody going to tell Unc that, yo, you know Big Ack had it right, and you might have had it wrong, though?
Kelsey Harris. During another line of questioning, the prosecutor asked her, thank you, why were you afraid? She testifies that Tory Lanez threatened to shoot her. Now, why is this so important?
By the way, while I was talking to Dennis earlier, like last night, I don't know if he has a horse in the race or, by the way, he's an elder gentleman that's in media. He probably is definitely scared of the cancel mob, but I'm not saying I don't think he's pro Meg, but he's not describing certain nuances that that the jurors are going to notice. And I explain why. He just said, oh, yeah, Kelsey just said, yeah, Tory did threaten me. Everybody else said that Kelsey was dipping and ducking, didn't want to answer. Yo, do I got to answer? Yo, hold on. Let me not. Everybody's noticing she not trying to answer. He's just said, oh, she answered. Yeah, eventually she answered. But it's like it's like pulling teeth. Check Millie's Twitter. Hold on. Damn, we all over the place, people. Here we go. Twitter.com Milagograms. Here we go. Somebody says, wait. Oh, nah, what's she tweet? Kelsey spoke to the prosecutors. Told him one thing, but today she says she lied. Kelsey says she never saw Tory pull a gun on Megan and shoot her. I told you the play's in. Chat. Kelsey says she lied about Tory physically attacking her. Holy shit. These are the two big ones, chat. Yo, Meg, I need a co-host, Meg. You could sit right here with me. We might have to expand the angle view because I know I'm Big Act, but come on. You been like the Liver King. You right here. We gonna wait a little bit more, but this might be clipped. Holy. Kelsey, didn't I tell you there might be a play? She didn't want to say nothing bad about Tory in the first half. Hold on. By the way, I don't know if this is her getting crossed. If this ain't her getting crossed, the cross gonna be the simplest thing in the world. By the way, what I'm trying to say is that she's winning the case of Tory. Kelsey's winning the case of Tory. I promise you. Kelsey's winning the case of Tory right now. She basically said, yo, prosecutors, I lied to y'all. What? Do you know what that means? And by the way, she probably talked to her attorney. All right, let me start breaking down. Let me get some legal shit. You know what I mean? Listen, chat. I'm a lawyer, bro. Check this out. She doesn't have blanket immunity, but she has immunity, allegedly, if I'm going by what James Queeley said. She has immunity for what she says in this case. What she just admitted to is lying to the prosecutors and the cops. There's probably filing a false police report charge that could come out of that. She's admitting to that. But her testimony is protected. You cannot charge her using anything that she has said. So she's just backing off of it saying, yeah, I lied about Tory attacking me. What was in the prosecution's opening statements? Yo, Tory socked her out. Kelsey spoke to the prosecutors and told them one thing, but today she says she lied. Tory, I'm not accusing you, brother, of nothing. I don't think but Kelsey deserved $2 million. Kelsey deserved $2 million. Kelsey could have sold you up the river, nigga. Kelsey could have sold you up the river, nigga. Kelsey could have sold you up. Kelsey win in this case with Tory right now, nigga. Kelsey could have sold. Come on. Holy shit. You got to imagine. So now when I'm thinking about it, Kelsey is frazzled. Kelsey is frazzled when they're asking her certain shit because she don't got blanket immunity. Kelsey says she never saw Tory shoot Megan or shoot her. I guarantee I can't wait till somebody who's in court tell me how she said that. It has to be worded perfectly. I'm going to tell you why. If she's saying that she never saw Tory pull a gun, I don't know if they're probably going to ask, did you see him with a gun? And they're going to say, did you see him fire a gun? She said no to 2 of the 3. The other one we don't know the answer to yet. But she never saw him pull a gun on Meg or shoot her. The only logical conclusion is that if she's saying that, well, why don't y'all charge Kelsey? Kelsey should be charged then. Kelsey should be charged. But she probably said it in a way, yo, give me an invite link to Discord. I got to send it to Myron. Oh, this is, this shit is fucking ridiculous. I can't believe I can't believe. Let me give it to Oh, okay. I can invite him. I know his name. Okay, cool. Here we go. Invite. Chat, just hold on 1 second. We are getting everybody on. Please give me a second. Okay. Oh, I gotta add him as a friend first. Like, what's going on with this thing? Do I not know how to use Discord? Fuck. I know how to use Discord. I do. How the fuck do I use Discord, man? God damn. Give me 1 second, chat. This is too crazy. Go to no jumper. Hold on. Wait a fucking minute. Oh, here we go. Oh, my sweet Jesus. Oh, my God. Tory Lanez, and look, Kelsey admitted lying to prosecutors about everything she told him in September and states she don't remember nothing from that night. Didn't I tell you? Here's the wildest part about this. This is what I'm saying. It's a play. I guarantee she remembers more from the party. And she got so drunk at the party, she passed out. Remember, she said she woke up later and was more sober. But she remembered more from the party because everything at the party make Meg look crazy. Yeah, Meg was being loud. Meg was doing this. Meg was doing that. She ain't saying nothing about Tory. But what about when y'all get to the car and now y'all fighting and now the gun come out? What about then? Oh, my brain. No, hold on. You want us to refresh your memory? You want us to refresh your memory, right? We got your statements. You told us what happened. What I tell y'all? Wait, I told y'all that look, I told y'all that Tory beat my ass and Tory shot her. That's cap. That's cap. Yo, this is ill. Kelsey says she lied to prosecutors when she said, I saw Tory fire 3 to 5 shots at Megan when we got out of the car. He offered me $1 million and asked to do favors for me if I stayed quiet. Tory punched me. Oh, shit. She says she lied about all these things. So Tory never punched her. Tory never offered $1 million. I saw, rest in peace, Meg, your credibility is out the window. Here's the funny part about it. Let me not even say that. Everybody knew it all along, except Meg. Take that how you want it. Meg, you know what's so funny? Rock Nation works hard, but a few people work harder. Let me say it again. Rock Nation works hard, but a few people works harder. Let me say it again. Rock Nation work hard, but there's a few people that work harder. Hold on. Yo, I gotta try to get Myron on here because like I want him to react to this with me. How do I fucking add okay. I'm gonna send him the invite link. Here we go. It's discord.gg/academics. This is crazy. Nah, this is fucking crazy. Hold on. Discord.gg/academics. What the fuck? Why is it put my extra G? Yeah, this one should go. Let me see this. Is it .com or .gg? Is .com/academics? I don't know. No, bro, am I just retarded? I might be. Somebody said just jump in hours. I don't have it on this computer. That's the thing. That's the thing. Hold on. I'm trying to jump in. Hold on. I don't know. How the fuck do I... Yo, I'm on a new account. I'm on a new account like on this computer. So I'm not in the Fresh and Fit Discord on this computer. All right, send me a link then. All right. Anyway, Kelsey. All right. Okay. Kelsey denies. All right. Here we go, chat. We locked in. Chat. We locked in. Come on now. Kelsey denies shooting Meg and being in possession of the gun, but says she did not witness Meg get shot. So she denies shooting Meg and being in possession of the gun, but says she did not witness Meg get shot. She did not see Meg bleeding. She don't know who shot Meg or if Meg was shot. Yo, Meg, let me tell you this. Meg, I'm gonna be honest with you. And I guess this is what I wasn't trying to say before. There's a little bit of sympathy I have for you because I do believe you were shot. And the girl who was there with you, who's your best friend of 13 years, is in under testimony saying she don't know if you got shot. You see all the niggas you done fucked and all the fucked up shit you did to her? That shit been burning her up for 2 years. She probably don't fuck with Tory. So maybe that play shit I'm talking about, she probably don't care about Tory. But she hates you more. That's what this is coming out to be. That's what this is coming out to be. Lawyer for workers. Jesus Christ.
It gets crazier. We are on a 15-minute break. Got to get back into the courtroom very quickly. I sat at 12 o'clock directly in Kelsey's line of vision. I watched her testify. I watched her deny that Tory threatened to shoot her. I watched her confess that she lied to the police when she said that. The reason why she was lying to the police, the investigators, is because she wanted to protect herself. OMG. The rest of the testimony that we just saw in the after lunch session was a prosecutor holding on for dear life to a recording between her, a police investigator, and another LA County prosecutor, and Kelsey, and just replaying that recording and saying, Kelsey, didn't you say this? And Kelsey saying, I did. Kelsey, is that true? And Kelsey saying, no, I lied. Did the LA County prosecutors give Kelsey immunity? I think so. They did, didn't they? That's what I reported this morning. That's what I saw in this courtroom. Does Kelsey sound like a believable witness? No. Is Tory Lanez accusing her of being the shooter? Yes. I'll tell you something. That jury, most of them, it looked like they had their mind made up. I don't know which way, but they saw that person say that I lied about all that to protect myself. They're going to hear that there was gunshot residue on her. And it gets...
This shit is a movie. This shit is a movie. This shit is a movie. I sent the link to Myron. I don't know. You got to join. Let me see. Wait, how did I do that? Not sure how to do that. Chat, is there a way I could invite Myron? No, I'm trying to get. Yo, boom.
Oh, hold up. What up, Ak?
Nigga, what are you doing, nigga? You don't see all the news that's breaking right now, bro? Like,
Yeah,
this
nigga,
shit is.
I'm watching it right now, nigga. This shit is treacherous.
Bro, this shit is ridiculous. Yo, chat, could somebody see if they see Myron?
Oh, I was talking to my Discord and I was telling them like, bro, if Tory does win the case, bro, he could basically sue her for all the money she made after getting popular, because he can basically say her popularity skyrocketing was based on her getting shot. Bitch was in a Marvel movie, like she was in a Marvel show. So,
wait, she's in a Marvel show?
Yeah, she was in a Marvel show, but granted it was ass, but she still was in a Marvel show, $1 billion company. what I'm saying? If she was a liar about getting shot, you think they would still put her in that fucking show? So that's what you got to. I mean, that's the easy case at that point.
All right, hold on. Let me
He
try
cannot
that.
sue for that. He can definitely sue for defamation, and he can add all the money she's made since getting shot. Not everything, but he could definitely make it a big ass lump sum for sure.
Okay, how
True.
do I? Hey, yo, how do I add friends? How do I add friends? Somebody tell me.
Where he at?
I don't know. I gave him the link, but I
So go to his profile and it should say add friend.
Yeah, send friend request.
Go to my profile. You mean?
No, go to his. If you want to add
No,
a friend,
Myron's.
wait, hold on. If you want to go add a friend, scroll all the way to the top, like where all your like servers and shit at. Just scroll all the way to the top and click the Discord logo, to where it says direct messages and shit.
Yeah.
And then it'll say
Add
add
friend.
friend. And
Got you. You clutch. Okay. Yo. I just sent a request. Holy.
Oh, Myron pulling up.
Yeah.
Holy.
Like
We getting the feds in this.
yeah, yo, he got me the fucking he got me like he
No,
gave me
no,
the
no.
police report.
Nah, why Unc was trying you like he was getting paid by Rock Nation last night, bro?
Nah,
That shit-
but nah, I ain't gonna lie. I think he was trying to be like safe, bro. A lot of people covering this case, bro.
Nah, he was not being unbiased though. He was literally just obviously on the side of Meg Thee Stallion. He said, bro, the gun was olive green. Tory wore a green shirt to the suit. You
Yeah, that's
think
kinda
everybody
wild,
gonna
ain't it?
forget that? Like, come on, bro.
That's kind of wild, ain't it?
Like, bro, come on, bro. Like that nigga was he was doing some conspiracy theorist shit, bro.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Jeez, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, even if they think Kelsey's lying, this is what I'm trying to say. Even if Kelsey's lying, Kelsey's a prosecution witness. Even if they think Kelsey's lying, Kelsey she is one. Remember, we thought it was gonna be 2 versus 1. It's 2 versus 1, but it's 2 for Tory. And again, she didn't gotta say, oh, Tory, like I'm sure Tory didn't shoot him. I didn't see Tory do nothing. I ain't see Tory do a motherfucking thing.
That's reasonable. That brings reasonable doubt, huh?
Yeah. Yo, hold on.
I gotta go pick up my girl from work.
Yo, I sent the request to Myron, and let me tell you what my what's my profile name at.
You could have just invited her, I guess.
Bro, like we probably both don't know how to use Discord that much, bro. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
you know,
honest.
Myron like 59 and shit, bro. So I give my nigga some credit.
Bro, the niggas out here cracking real cases, bro.
This nigga Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. Here we go.
All the motherfuckers on Twitter mad as hell. Bro, I gotta see this shit. I don't know, man.
Oh, I see.
Tory might be guilty, bro. He might be guilty, y'all.
No.
Man, if Tory go to jail, then I'm gonna go get mad for him, bro. I'm gonna finish the job, bro.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, I really think the hatred for Meg by Kelsey is why because I'm not saying she lying, but Kelsey is only here for one reason, not to help the prosecutor. Because she could have told him, yo, listen, don't even call me to the stand, because really I did misremember. She's breaking news on the stand. Like this is a fucking movie. Oh, I'm lying. I lied then. I never told. She had a chance. She showed up to court in November and they postponed it to December. She never said, oh, I'm lying. She's breaking news on the stand. You know what that means, right? She wanted to take the stand, but she wanted to take the stand to give a fuck you to Meg Thee Stallion, nigga. And maybe she gets some money. I don't know. She deserves some money,
but it's fucked up. That's fucked up to do.
You think so?
Nigga, I put you up. Let's like right now, bro. Let's like right now. Nigga, if I ever stop fucking with you, nigga, no matter what, nigga, you did shit you didn't have to do. Nigga, she helped Meg out, bro. She put money in Meg's pocket, bro. Bro,
you mean the other way around? You mean the other way around?
Oh, yeah, the other way around. Tweaking, yeah.
Okay, all right, hold on. Well, that's why I said maybe it's a play. Maybe Tory, you know what I mean? Maybe that.
Bro, at the end of the day, bro, Tory wouldn't know you if it wasn't for Meg.
I mean, that's true. Oh, okay.
You wouldn't have been at the Rock Nation dealing without Meg, bro.
That's true.
I'm big on loyalty, even if you violate me. If you did shit you didn't have to do for me, bro, like think I'm gonna keep it solid. Like I ain't gonna be a bitch ass nigga like how you are.
Yo, real quick. Yo. I got my man. And by the way, we want to keep this conversation going on. Yo, we got Myron in the building. Myron.
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother.
Yeah. All right, what's up?
Yo, listen, I'm over here covering it, like just kind of covering the tweets from the people in court. I don't know if you've been seeing what's going on. This is crazy.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with it. So, I mean, what do you want to tackle first?
I mean, so like you've broken this case down as well, right? And you know the intricacies of it. Which, by the way, number one, let me start off by saying Myron was the person who gave me the police report. Okay, how he procured it. Listen, come on, man. He got his ways. You know what I mean? He got a whole channel dedicated to this. I was talking to people who think that like they thought I stole it from the Discovery.
Yeah, nah, it was a pain in the ass to get, but you know, Christina helped me out again, and we made it happen. And I got the police report actually in front of me right now. I was going through it to refresh my memory, but yeah, there were so many inconsistencies in the police report when you look through it, and there's like no way, you know, just from a logical standpoint, that there was a likely shooter. But we could get into that based on whatever you want to talk about.
Okay, all right. We got to deal with the most pertinent information, which is the latest information. Kelsey takes the stand.
Yep.
Kelsey takes the stand. By the way, Meg takes the stand, and I think she did a decent job. I want to hear your opinion. Let's deal with Meg first. What did you think about her entire testimony? I think she did good because there was a lot of lies that we could openly see contradicted. And said, "Oh, I never had sex with Tory. I never did this. I never did that." But then, you know, she kind of admitted that she was inconsistent. But then she closed a few loops. Like, for example, how do you know Tory's a shooter if you never saw him shoot you, right? Your back was turned. She said, well, yep. I saw him holding the gun, and then moments later when I turned back around, I got shot. This is a safe assumption. You think it's him. How did you think about Meg's testimony?
Well, she did what victims typically do. Whenever you put a victim on the stand, your goal is to get the jury to feel sorry for you. You want to be the biggest victim you possibly can. And the thing that she has on her side is, number one, she's a female, and number two, she's a black female. And the jurors, right, mostly from what I understand, are mostly females. So what she's trying to do is appeal to them, like, listen, I'm the victim here. You know, he shot at me. You know, it was a crazy situation. I may have had my back turned, but I'm telling you, I saw him even though I was intoxicated and I didn't really know what was going on. So her goal is to give an emotional testimony, right, to draw on people's feelings versus facts.
And by the way, Myron, also, I don't know if anyone can help you do it, but your notification, I think I'm hearing your note. They're probably adding yours.
No, go to the settings and then go to notifications, and you should be able to turn the sounds off.
Yeah, you can turn all those sounds off.
Yeah, where's the settings at so I can turn this off?
Ray or someone, please help him out. Chat, this is ridiculous.
Hold on, where is it? Notifications? Let me see here. I hit my account's profiles.
You the feds, cuz you supposed to know this.
I don't use Discord. And this cup unpack.
No, on notifications, it should say enable desktop notifications, and if you just knock that out.
It's already clicked off enable desktop notifications.
Yeah,
I think it's coming through his mic. Like you gotta
scroll down a little bit. It should say disable all notification sounds.
Yeah, it says I already. Oh, okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's working.
Hold on. How about this? No, that's not what I want. Hold on. Can y'all? Damn, it's still making noise.
Yeah, still doing it.
Okay, let me try this. Does that get rid of it? Nope, it's still there.
Man, somebody deal this nigga. Like I don't know how to do that shit.
God's favorite 304 said tell him to come here. Akshay said tell him to mute the server.
Enable same channel.
Oh, I think it's just server like.
Shit. Why don't you just enable streamer mode?
Oh yeah, that's what you gotta do.
How do I do that?
Should be in your settings.
I sent you a video on how to do it to your phone.
Hey,
God damn.
So
streamer mode.
yo,
Okay, I'm
so
on
chat
right now.
Didn't
okay,
I called
streamer mode?
Yeah, that works too.
Oh, okay. Hey,
did that take sound off for y'all?
I'm still hearing something.
Still doing it?
Yeah, it's still doing it.
Can you mute the server? How you mute the server? What's the instructions for that?
Oh, you just right click the server and mute it.
Here let me try.
Is there such a thing?
What the fuck? Yo, I hate.
Yo, Myron, did you get to mute it?
Yo, by the way, Myron, did you see Gunna getting 6 months or 7 months?
That too. I saw that too. Yeah.
What is your thoughts on that?
It's his mic feedback.
What's your thoughts on that?
So, Myron, you could also put yourself on Do Not Disturb by clicking on your icon. It should appear as
No. I know how to turn it off. I know how to turn it off.
How?
So you got to go to your settings. Press the settings button. Go to notifications, and you see all the tabs that's open that says messages, chats. Turn them all off. Just turn every single one of them off, and you'll stop getting sounds for them.
Okay.
Under the notifications and settings, it'll say sounds. And you can turn it off.
I'm on. Yeah, I clicked. Yeah, I hit disable all notification sounds. I already did that.
Do you have another tab open?
Let me look right now. I don't think I do. But hold on.
I think you might have to go on Do Not Disturb.
No.
I helped my real quick.
It's in your server. It's in your server. You gotta go to your server settings and then turn them off like that.
Yeah, fix it. Do y'all still hear anything?
Nope.
No, we don't
hear anything anymore. I think I might have fixed it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Also, Ak, one thing.
Yeah.
I apologize.
There was somebody that messaged me saying that you need to check your private messages. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any particular private message?
Scamarella.
Okay. All right. All right. Listen.
Sorry about that, Ak. So what we're talking about Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, so let me break this down real quick, just so y'all kind of understand. I'm a former special agent of Homeland Security Investigations. I've been to state trials. I've been to federal trials. I've done it all. So the job of a witness, and I know this because when you have witnesses on your case, whether it's the prosecution or the defense, is your job is to convince the jurors that you actually are a victim. So you have to give heartfelt testimony to appeal to their emotions versus necessarily reflecting facts. If the facts are on your side, then use that to your advantage. But your job is always to pull at the heartstrings, okay? So what Meg Thee Stallion successfully did was she went on there, played the victim, cried, tried to put the people in her shoes, which is her job as the victim. And since she's the star witness, she's trying to go ahead and garner some type of sympathy from the jury, right? The fact that she's a female, the fact that she's African-American, all these things play into her being able to take the victim role and play to it to the best that she can. And then obviously, right, she has some things going against her. She has contradictory testimony. She has, bullet trajectories and other type of evidence that doesn't necessarily align with what she said. And she was intoxicated. So she had to do her best to kind of come off as the victim. Now, going with Kelsey's thing, right? I know from what I understand, she took the Fifth Amendment on the stand, which is a huge red flag. The Fifth Amendment, guys, basically protects you from incriminating yourself, right? And you can only invoke it if you are potentially, if you could be prosecuted for a crime. So the fact that she was a state witness, right, for the prosecution, if I'm not mistaken, and then she went ahead and took the Fifth is a big red flag because she knew if I tell y'all the truth, I am more than likely going to incriminate myself for some other type of crime, okay? Because when you go on the stand, guys, they put you under oath. And when you're under oath, you cannot lie. If you lie, you basically perjured yourself or can get hit with false statements, whatever it may be. This is a state case, so it's just going to be perjury, right? So, and I knew this from before, right? And I had predicted this before when I read the police report that there's no way Tory could have been the shooter. It just didn't make sense. So when she was saying, hey, I don't want to talk, well, there's a couple of issues here. One, if she does tell the full story, she's going to admit to basically getting in a fist fight. Number two, she's going to admit to lying to police, right? Impeding an investigation. And, which is the news that's coming out now, is that allegedly she was the one that shot. So all these things, right, are things that can get her jammed up and incriminate herself in the future. So her taking the Fifth on the stand, right, is a big red flag because you can't take the Fifth unless you're culpable for some type of criminal events.
Hey, do you okay? So, and by the way, there's so much to unpack. By the way, we won't probably get another break.
I mean, we need to.
Yeah, no. Well, we're gonna take our time with it until we get another break in court where we get a bunch of flurry of updates.
Sure.
We should probably step back, right? When you analyze this, you said, and by the way, if you guys are watching, we have about almost 40,000 people who are watching on various platforms. Listen, obviously I know me as Akademiks. I'm talking to Myron Gaines. He has a channel, very popular channel that pretty much does, crime stories, not only that deals with hip hop, but kind of is really wide range. It's really interesting. Go check him out, Fetid 1811.
Oh,
he's
thanks.
a former, well, you can tell your title, brother.
Yeah, I was a former special agent with Homeland Security Investigations. I've done state cases, federal cases. I've done everything from racketeering cases to human smuggling, gun trafficking, drug trafficking, pretty much any crime you could think of, child exploitation. I've pretty much done it.
Okay. Now, this is what I wanted to ask you. So we're taking a step back. You said from what you analyzed, and you really went in detail, looking at every piece of evidence that was out there. You said it was impossible that Tory was a shooter. Okay. We've been working on a bunch of theories, and a lot of times with me, I'm working on like, maybe this is a theory, right? So let me give you a theory. I've always said that there's a struggle for the gun.
Yeah.
How does that sound? Like, explain everything. I've seen you even brought up the Google Maps of the fucking area. I thought that was a beautiful video. I might even put that on the screen when you covered it up. You covered it. Let me see. It's on your channel, I know.
Yeah, if you just type in 1811, it'll come right up. It's at the top of the thing, the Tory Lanez thing. And yeah, I mean, I have the police report in front of me right now. The biggest thing that kind of was a red flag was the gun was found in the front seat, guys, and that's where Meg was originally sitting.
And
it was under a handbag.
What do you make it? Well, okay. Now I'm gonna play devil's advocate, or I'm gonna play. Okay, I'm the prosecutor. Well, okay, Meg was sitting there initially, but when Meg got back in the vehicle, was she sitting there? What, did she return to the same seat, or did they switch positions?
Well, the thing is that I think when the police pulled them over here, let me look at the report right now. When the police pulled them over. Oh, and then the other thing too, I want to say while I pull this up was originally she told the police, "Oh, I stepped on glass." And when the doctor, right, looked at her injuries, he confirmed that it was, and I'll read it right now for you guys. He was transported to Cedars-Sinai and was treated by Dr. Lafredo for lacerations to her left foot. Dr. Lafredo confirmed laceration due to stepping on glass. So if she was really shot, you would have been able to see the discrepancy. He would have seen cell casings. He would have seen, oh no, this is not indicative of lacerations from glass. This is you've been shot, right? And this is what she originally told the police because I guess she maybe didn't want to get Tory in trouble or anything like that. But even the doctor confirmed, yeah, this looks like glass lacerations. So that was a red flag. And then let me go ahead and look back at the report on that part on who was sitting in the seat. But sorry, what did you say? There was something else you was going to ask?
Yeah, no. I guess I'm asking that question because I have a whole theory of what I think happened, right? I think, Meg, and again, we probably deal with things a little bit different because you coming from the side of working in law enforcement, it's more about what's factual based more than what's actually, editorial. Like I'm gonna editorialize a little bit. I think Meg's well, Kelsey doesn't call it a party. She adamantly said today it's not a party, right? She's at some gathering at Kylie's house. Meg, who somehow always wanted her guy to be in the mix, calls up Tory, come through. Apparently she said she may have texted and FaceTimed him. So she wanted him there bad. Tory gets there. By the time he gets there, Meg's almost damn near drunk. We get a passed out Kelsey who was drinking a little bit too much. Yeah. Then later on, apparently there was much more people there. They later leave. They get in the pool, this, that, and third. Tory is acting out. He's trying to like do a little bit most. You understand how guys do. You guys are on a dating show. Like, listen, hey, I've already smashed these two other girls. I have an opportunity to probably get this girl who would definitely be a win if, whatever. And he's kind of like giving her a little bit too much attention. Meg is kind of watching this like, yo, this guy's disrespectful. Okay, if you're doing this in front of my face when I invited you to this party, things kind of get a little bit whatever. Remember, Meg is also drunk. Alcohol is a severe influencer in this entire sequence of events. Okay,
it destroys your ability to recall events as well.
Perfect, exactly, and that's why I was surprised that they're only talking about alcohol consumption when Meg got on the stand. When Tory, not when Meg, Kelsey got on the stand. When Meg was on the stand, they did not talk about the fact that when she left the party, she may have been intoxicated already. Okay, so let's move it along. After that, right? They clearly they're leaving the party. Apparently, the stylist and whoever else wanted to leave, they're leaving the party, and Tory's staying behind because think about it. If you think you got a shot with Kylie, you're not trying to leave the party when the rest of the crew is trying to leave. They leave him at first. Meg is salty. Hey, yo, I invited this guy, and now I left him at the house with the chick he's trying to fuck. So she makes up an excuse. Hey, I left my shoes. Can we go back? I got to go back to get my stuff. They go back, which, by the way, she fucked up. I don't know if you heard the reports. She said she never actually, she don't remember returning back to the house. Kelsey said, we returned to the house. You know what that says? I mean, you're obviously a very smart guy. The alcohol is fucking with her memory already. You don't remember returning, but your best friend, who, by the way, also is drinking, y'all stories conflict. What? It don't even matter what's the truth is. Anything that's conflicting makes your credibility, it's in jeopardy. Everything's weird. Okay, great. You guys go back to the house. Apparently, there is some type of altercation, according to Kelsey. That's what she testified. Some type of altercation. In that altercation, Meg comes out with Tory. And now everybody's leaving. And she says, Kylie wanted us to leave.
Yep.
It kind of makes sense. You got kicked out. Okay, cool. By the way, in Meg's testimony, she does not mention Kylie or does not mention that Kylie kicked her out. She made it seem like this was a willingly that party left the party. Okay, cool. All right. Now, this is when everything kind of gets a little bit interesting. And we should probably just get to if you have any comments on that, as it relates to the narrative that we've been seeing for 2 years, because now we're hearing actual testimony, please chime in. This is exactly why. But now Meg did what she was supposed to do. I agree with you. Kelsey shows up today. And I said to someone who was in court yesterday, I said, based on what I think happened, it's ridiculous to me that she would show up and testify unless she has an immunity deal.
Yep.
When she shows up today, she pleads the fifth. Apparently the prosecutor says, well, listen, we are not going to prosecute her. And they then have a conversation. It's probably a sidebar about an immunity deal. She gets an immunity deal. What do you think about that? This is very important.
Well, yeah, the fact that they gave her an immunity deal on the spot tells you how desperate the prosecution is.
Thank you.
For them to go ahead and give her that on the spot, and then for her to actually come back and give the testimony tells me that they probably gave her something very ironclad. They had obviously this is because here's the thing. People got to remember that when you're the defense, all you have to do, right, is just distill it a little bit where there's a little bit of reasonable doubt. In the United States, you have to be able to prove someone is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The defense's job is to create that reasonable doubt. So if you got one witness coming in there saying, well, I don't know, and I'm going to incriminate myself if I really talk, off that alone, now the jury's skeptical. Whoa, did Tory really even shoot her? Did this chick shoot her? What's going on here? She could have not even pulled the trigger, but what she's basically done now, she's done it for Tory already, is she's created reasonable doubt on Meg's case, because the last thing you want to do is convict someone when you're not 100%, correct. And for Tory, just to let you guys know how dire the situation is for Tory, keep in mind, guys, that Tory's a foreign national. He's a Canadian citizen. I don't even think he has a green card in the United States. And if he does, it doesn't really matter, because if he's convicted of any of these crimes, he's going to be deported from the United States. He won't be allowed back in. And then on top of that, he could face federal charges for alien in possession of a firearm. Okay? So there's a lot on the stake here for Tory, where not only can he get convicted and go to jail, but his ability to enter the United States and work in the business in the United States and make money here is gone. And as we know, him being able to tour only in Canada and international will significantly hurt his pocket. So he can't afford to lose this. But
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
The charge that got thrown in while he was in jury selection.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was an added charge. Last minute, they had 2 years to look at it. 2 years. Thrown in last minute. Help me understand this. I'm thinking it's desperation, but what would you interpret that to be?
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, the charge was discharging of a firearm. Basically, they're just trying to get anything to stick. I think they know at this point, to some degree, the prosecution knows that the case against Tory for actually shooting Meg is weak. So let's go ahead and throw in another felony, right? Which will make him deportable. Remember, guys, if he's convicted of any felony, he's immediately deportable. All right. And get him on something. Because if we can't prove he actually shot Meg, maybe we can get him for discharging of a firearm. Maybe we can establish that he had the gun in his hand at some point and he was responsible for the gun discharging. Because if I'm not mistaken, all 4 of their DNA was found on the gun, right? Or three members of in the vehicle, all of their DNA was found on the gun. Or there were 4 different DNA profiles found on the weapon. However, Meg was not swabbed, or they didn't grab her DNA.
Exactly. You're right. You're right.
So it's very probable that she might have been the 4th individual that had her DNA on the gun. So they're just throwing that in there to say, oh, well, listen, we know there's 4 different DNA profiles on the firearm, but maybe Tory was responsible for discharging one of the bullets, which would immediately make him, susceptible to getting hit with this charge, which is discharging a firearm. Basically, it was they're trying to get something to stick here.
Okay. All right.
Especially and charge him for that a couple of days before the trial is sloppy and unprofessional, to be honest with y'all. But it's a state case, so I'm not surprised.
Okay. Myron,
all the time.
Myron was working for the big boys, the feds. They can't be looking. I'm not. I kid you not. And you can tell me what you think. I feel like the DA, and by the way, it's the LA County DA.
Yep.
It's looking embarrassing. It's looking embarrassing. It's looking embarrassing.
You got to remember that Los Angeles has had a very bad history of prosecuting cases. I mean, OJ will forever be a black eye in the history of Los Angeles, and they've just lost a lot of cases, right? And the problem with the Los Angeles County DA's office is they like to clout chase sometimes, and they took this case on more for let's go after him, etc. If this was like regular people, and everyone was drunk as hell and no one knew what the hell really happened, they probably would have been reluctant to prosecute the case. But given the fact that Megan's a superstar, Tory's a superstar, Kelsey's in the middle, high profile, the news is all over it, it puts a lot of pressure on them to prosecute the case.
Hey, listen, we're kind of all over the place, and I apologize for everybody who's watching this, because I know there's so many pertinent things that we want to get to, but I'm glad we have Myron on here because he's able to comment on a bunch of them. And as soon as we have more updates, we will let you guys know. And there's more questions I have about this Meg case. But I see you guys keep talking about it in the chat. You guys keep talking about this whole Gunna thing. The video has just been released. Gunna is officially free. He's walked out of it wasn't Fulton County. He was in like another jail. But he's walked out of jail. There's a video of him walking out now. It's interesting. I see him with a woman. I'm not too sure who this woman is. She definitely got a BBL. You know what I mean? I don't know if he caught a new one in jail. But anyway, he's officially
out for plea, Gunna.
He's officially free.
He's not making any statements right now, guys. Thank you.
He hops in a Maybach truck.
No, we have a.
And he takes off. He's officially free. I don't know if you read up on that yet, or we could definitely give you some time to like look at it. Apparently, the plea he took, he's getting 1 year in jail plus 4 years of his sentence being suspended, and the 1 year got commuted to 6 or 7 months, which is time served. People are really saying, what the fuck? I thought you guys had him on a racketeering charge. Like, that's pretty much equivalent. Those gang charges are pretty much the equivalent of a racketeering charge. People are shocked that, hey, you get a 6-month stint with a suspended sentence. And let me look up the plea once again, because we saw it before. There's a name of the plea I've never seen before. However, I will say this. The lawyer that is Gunna's lawyer was the same lawyer that represented T.I. for his federal case, right? Even though it's not a federal case, but his federal case that had to do with the silencers, like all these things he had, all the weapons, and that person got him a year and a day. If you could get T.I. a year and a day, you get this guy for like basically a RICO charge, 6 months. Like, Jesus Christ. Let me look.
Yeah, so I could comment on this while you pull up that plea agreement. So here's the thing. Typically, the first thing I want to say is that state racketeering charges are much different than federal racketeering charges. The state of Georgia is a state that does have its own racketeering charges from a state perspective versus the federal ones. The federal ones are the ones that put people away for a very long time. Now, as far as this racketeering case, I am familiar with it. I did cover the YSL case as well. Gunna had some of the least charges on the indictment. They got him for like, you know, general racketeering activity, etc. Like very like boilerplate type legal language on his charges. But for him to be able to get a plea agreement, get out on 6 months, etc. Yo, I hate to say it, man. I'd be shocked if he didn't cooperate. I'll just say it all the way. I'd be shocked if he didn't cooperate. Especially given the fact that all his co-defendants are still in jail.
The timing was weird to me. The timing was super weird to me. So, and I'm sure, you know, I'm not going to put you on the spot for this because I know you like to be very prepared on stuff. But apparently, and this, I'm going to read it. This is via WSB TV. Says the rapper entered a negotiated plea known as the Alford plea, in which a defendant doesn't admit he committed the crime, but acknowledges that it's in his best interest to plead guilty. And I'm wondering, okay, this helps Gunna, but how does this help the state? He doesn't have to admit he committed the crime, but he acknowledges that it's best that he had to plead guilty. How does this help the state when you have 27 other defendants awaiting a possible trial that you claim you have 300 witnesses?
Yeah, it doesn't help at all. And that Alford plea, it's rare. It's not common. You know, so the fact that he took a unique kind of plea like that, the fact that a lot of his co-defendants are still in, no one's really been released on anything. And just the level of the case. The thing, let's be honest here. They want Young Thug. That's who they want. They want to pin. They want to. He's probably more than likely the top guy that they want to go after because he's a leader of the organization. So they want to go after him. And how are you going to go after him? Well, you're going to have to go after someone else in the organization that is close enough to him to be able to give you actual real information, but at the same time, not high enough where, oh, okay, we can't afford to let this guy off easy. Does that make sense? So, like, I'll give you an example, like 6ix9ine, right? I covered his case too.
Yeah.
The reason why 6ix9ine was such a fantastic cooperator is because he was in a position where he was financing a lot of the situations, right? He had the money. So therefore, that immediately put him in touch and in contact with the higher level guys. And then at the same time, he was low enough where if we give him no time, it's not that big a deal because we really want to go after these other dudes, right? You know, we want to go after who is we want to go after Shotty, we want to go after El Murda, we want to go after all these dudes, the high ranking blood guys. So whenever you're building a racketeering case, a gang investigation, some type of case, drug trafficking, right? A case where you have multiple conspirators working together to commit a multitude of different crimes, especially racketeering, you always want to go for guys that are 4th or 5th removed from the top guys because they have enough information, right, on the top guys because they're close enough to them. But however, they're far enough where if they get less time, it's not that big of a deal because they're not the ones ordering murders. They're not the ones necessarily directing things. They're just kind of in the middle. So Gunna is kind of in that position. Am I saying that Gunna snitched? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that he's in a position that me as an investigator would want to exploit, a prosecutor would want to exploit, and he got a strange plea deal and he got out before everyone else. Now, these are things that, you know, could be an indication of potentially cooperating with the government, especially getting a plea deal that early on.
Hey, okay, so now I got to read to you, which he didn't put this on the social media because he wasn't free yet. Ironically, news of the plea comes with a statement. So he has a statement already ready. It says, after the sentence came down, the rapper released a statement saying, while I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. This statement makes a lot of people say, well, why the fuck did how could it be in the best interest of the state if you have been denied bond 4 times and they could at least hold you until next year, which is the trial or the scheduled start date of the trial? Why give you this plea now? What do you think about this statement and that?
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to look at it. Is how does the state benefit from not gaining information from you, especially when you're in a privileged position where they can glean a lot of information? You know, like it doesn't. It just. I see what he's saying, and obviously that's a smart PR move to like immediately put that statement out as you're being released so that people don't assume anything. But just from my background, my training, my experience, it's very strange for him to get these benefits without necessarily giving the state something in exchange, especially when they could have said, all right, well, go pound sand, bro. We don't care. We're going to go ahead and just keep you in jail, and you're going to get hit with these charges if you don't cooperate to some degree.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but so the chat told me to scroll down a little bit, right? Okay, it says, despite saying he will not testify, it is a condition of Gunna's, I'm guessing it says trial, but I'm guessing it got to be plea because there's no trial. Yeah. A Gunna's trial that he testifies if he is called. So I'm guessing they meant plea, but he has to testify if he's called, though he can claim the Fifth Amendment. What does this say to you?
No, he can't claim the Fifth because he's not going to be charged. If he comes in, so here's the thing. So if he comes in after the fact, right, you can only invoke the Fifth if you're going to incriminate yourself. But they already got him for racketeering. So if he admits to any gang activity or anything that they already prosecuted him for and indicted him for, well,
is this a loophole though, or a gray area? Because according to this Alford plea, the defendant doesn't admit he committed the crime, but acknowledges that it's in his best interest to plead guilty, which is weird. So you're saying you're pleading guilty because it's in your best interest, but you're not saying that you did anything. So maybe the Fifth Amendment. Go ahead.
The other important thing to remember about that plea is that what they say also is that if I go to trial, I would more than likely also be found guilty by a jury.
Oh, okay.
Another part of it as well. So here's the thing. Because this is the thing about plea agreements, because I've also seen a million of these as well. Plea agreements, you always have to be willing to cooperate with the government to some level, or the state, whoever the hell was prosecuting you, to some degree, and that's a whole part of the plea agreement. So if they do, let's say they do go to trial and they call Gunna to testify, he's not going to get that same Fifth Amendment privilege. Because they're going to ask him about crimes that they already charged him for in that indictment, which is racketeering activity.
Let me ask you this question, and this is definitely opinion based. Do you think they give him this plea because, as you stated, but I believe they want Thug, and if now they put on they already threw 2 extra charges, or two or three, even though those were minor charges on Thug's docket. If they also put into the ecosphere, well, you do know the guy who you be around a lot in the studios, and he also claims the same thing. He has taken a plea. If they stack that on top of whatever they got against Thug will basically just fold, because Thug has to know if you go to trial, they're going to call Gunna.
Yes, and that the government will absolutely use that in their back pocket and say, "Listen, bro, Gunna, we will call Gunna against you if we need to," and they will. I guarantee you, that's a part there. Well, you already read it in the plea agreement. Every plea agreement, it's standard plea agreement language. Is you have a part of this plea agreement is, yes, you're getting less time, blah blah blah, but you need to be available if we call you to trial as a witness, and he's not going to get no Fifth Amendment privileges.
That's interesting, because I remember and you obviously covered this whole case too, with the Tekashi 6ix9ine and like the whole 9 Trey guys. What really started setting the motion up for everybody to take pleas was when they knew Tekashi was definitely going to be a federal witness. And it's like everyone started thinking, hey, are you sure that if you go to trial and this guy got to sit up there and talk about his experience intimately with you, and if he's ever seen you do any crime, talk about any crime that's entered, are you sure you can still beat the United States government and everybody but the kidnappers, who clearly weren't aligned with 6ix9ine from the get-go? Everybody took a plea, including Shotty.
Yep. And the other thing too, so let me let y'all know how the discovery process works, okay? Because I've been the agent that turns evidence over, right, during the process. After you indict someone, right, which is a formal charge by a grand jury, whether it's state or federal, you give all the information that you have to the prosecutor. The prosecutor begins the discovery process where the prosecutor starts giving over all the evidence that you gather as the investigator to the defense. Now, don't forget, guys, as they're in jail, as they're in prison, the agent is still working, gathering evidence. So this discovery process is still fluid to some degree. You're collecting jail calls, you're still debriefing witnesses, you're talking to informants. So you're still developing evidence as the investigation is going, even after indictment sometimes. So what happens is the defense doesn't always have every single thing that the prosecution has. So what more than likely happened is they saw, okay, Tekashi is going to cooperate. Cool. And then they started getting those downloads from Tekashi's phone. Then they started getting some of the stuff that Tekashi said to the prosecution and to the agents. Then as time got closer and closer to trial, that's when they got to start deciding, all right, am I going to go to trial or am I going to just take the plea? So in Young Thug's case, right, it's a state. The state works way slower than the feds do. Okay. They're almost always, that's why you guys look at someone like YNW Melly, who's been in prison since damn near 2018, 2019. And they still haven't went to trial. The state takes their time a lot of the times and is very behind, especially states like Georgia, Florida, Texas, notorious for taking forever to go to trial. So I guarantee you that Young Thug's defense probably doesn't have everything yet. And the state is still gathering evidence because from when I read that indictment, it's very apparent to me that they had what you call Title III intercepts, which is when you're listening to someone actively on a phone line or you're bugging him and listening to them speak real time. So that type of evidence, right, to disclose all of that, to go through all of it, etc., it's very time consuming. So
hey, I got some new information also to add. Chat, thank y'all for reminding me I didn't scroll all the way down. Look, apparently, okay, they says Gunna also attested in the plea deal that he was in a car with Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, when officers pulled them over and found hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm inside, which, by the way, they're definitely going to try to use and squeeze Thug, you could tell. Because, again, if they're giving him the slap on the wrist, they got to give somebody the DDT. It's according to the plea agreement, Gunna claimed the gun and drugs weren't his. But according to the police narrative, there's only one person in the car.
Yeah. See?
Okay, explain that to me. Explain that to me. because hey, this might be really disguised. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm only taking a plea for me, but I'll sign off saying that gun was not mine though. But it's only two of y'all in the car.
Yeah, and this is where cases can get complex, right? When you have informants, when you got people that are cooperating or whatever, sometimes, to get things done in a certain way where the defendant or the cooperator, right, isn't necessarily implicated, you have to write things or proposition things in a certain way that doesn't make it obvious that the individual that's cooperating is actually cooperating, if that makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll tell y'all from my personal experience when I had informants and cooperators, etc.
Wait, hold on. Just to give the audience context,
sure.
You have worked with people who have been, knowingly cooperating with the U.S. government to obviously try to get either lesser time or try to avoid whatever. So these individuals and you've been in the trenches. I'm just trying to establish that for the audience.
I'll put it this way. There was a time when I had 10 plus confidential informants and or cooperators working for me.
Holy shit. Holy
so,
shit.
There's no one else that could talk about this in a more educated fashion. When I would write my report.
Hey, Chad, Fed 1811, man. Y'all got to go check my mans out, man. Listen, I think when it comes to the hip hop space, I go pretty in depth, but obviously there's still another depth that could be done that someone like me won't go. And also sometimes I'm only caring about hip hop cases. But if you think about shit, I had a great time watching your whole Jeffrey Dahmer breakdown. I think you do a great job outside the scope of that. So you guys go check him out if you really want in depth. Apparently your true crime is a real thing, man. I ain't gonna lie, I might have to launch a true crime fucking channel recently.
Love it.
But anyway, yeah, okay. Not to cut you off, but just to give a random plug. Okay, so you've worked with all type of like people who have cooperated. How does this sound though? So in the plea, he's saying it's not mine, but let me read it again. Gunna also attested in the plea deal that he was in the car with Young Thug. So he says he's marking the time. I'm in the car with Thug.
Yeah.
When police pulled him over and found hydrocodone, methamphetamine, and a firearm inside, and according to the plea deal, Gunna claimed that the gun and drugs were not his. It's unclear if anyone else was in the car at the time.
So when you have informants, cooperating defendants, sources of information, and I could break down the difference between each if you care, but I'll put it this way, as someone that controlled all different types of informants at different levels, right? It's your job as the investigator to protect your guy from looking like he cooperated, especially if he's a part of a criminal organization where retaliation is almost inevitable. Okay.
Oh, so that's the thing. So it is a thing to try to make the person who is helping the investigation not look like a snitch, quote unquote.
Here, I'll give an example right now, a real-time example. Let's say, right, I get information from a source that there's 10 kilos of cocaine in a car.
Yeah.
And it's traveling on Interstate 95.
Yeah.
Right? But then I also find out through maybe a good Samaritan that this drugs in this car. Maybe not to the same level of detail, but I also get information that there's drugs in this vehicle going on this highway at this time. What I do, right, as the investigator, as I call the highway patrol and I tell them, hey, listen, this car right here, I got some reliable information that the car has dope in it. But, big but, I need you to develop your own probable cause, stop that vehicle, and do a search. So the trooper sees the car, he stops it, maybe for a broken taillight, maybe for a license plate not matching or some other reason, right? There's a reason why it's easy for them to pull you over. He pulls him over with his own probable cause, of course, and then through the course of the investigation,
and he doesn't state any of the intel you've given him.
Hell no, he doesn't. So he goes ahead and he does that, right? He's, do you mind if I could search the car? Gets consent, searches the car, finds the drugs. Bam. I've effectively protected my informant now, or my source, or whoever it is, in that seizure, because now it looks like it was a traffic stop. Of course, when I write up my report, I have to disclose, I received information, blah, 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 but I don't have to necessarily go in detail because it was independently corroborated through the stop. Does that make sense? So that's one way to insulate a source. That's an example.
Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. Jesus. Okay. All right. Wow. Apparently, which also I didn't read, they said alleged YSL co-founder, which this is odd, Walter Murphy also negotiated a plea deal in the indictment on Tuesday, according to his lawyer, Jacoby Hudson. By the way, there's a lot of people who kept talking about trial. I said, ain't no possible fucking way we'll ever see no Rico case go to a actual jury trial for the majority of the people. Maybe one or two brazen people take it there, but no, everybody's gonna plea out. And if we're seeing a co-founder plea out, obviously you have to think about this. One of Young Thug and even Gunna's like major their arguments was that, YSL's not a gang, it's only a record label. Well, now a co-founder of the gang component is negotiating a plea. He's pretty much corroborating the fact that it's a gang.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Whenever people say, it's not a gang, that doesn't work. All they have to do is prove that you guys are committing some type of crime for the betterment of the organization. That's all they got to prove when it comes to racketeering, essentially. Right? And the fact that they have the branding, the memorabilia, all this other stuff, right? Like, I mean, hell, when I looked at the indictment, I went ahead and I pulled like the music video clips that they were using as evidence. Bro, them just having on like YSL chains with a snake on it was considered evidence because they were able to tie the snakes back to what? The Bloods. That was their fuck up, bro. If you're a part of a national gang, GD, Blood, Crip, any of these like big gangs, Lion King, whatever, and they're able to tie it back to that, you're done. It doesn't matter what the fuck you think. You say slime or any of this other stuff. They were always able to tie it back to the Bloods, which automatically is considered a national gang. Done. The racketeering all day, easy.
Oh my God. So it is in your belief, and partially, I think, definitely in my belief, but I think the majority of people have said, hey, listen, this case is to catch a few people and put them away. And I'm wondering what time they'll look. So if Gunna got 6-7 months, I'm wondering how serious the state is about their case, because federally, Casanova is being, they're actually suggesting 20 years. The prosecutors recommended 20 years.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I called it that he was gonna get a significant amount of time.
And he took a plea.
Yes.
He took a plea. If you took a plea and they're recommending 20, if you had blue trial, they're gonna give you, I don't even want to know the number.
Yeah, if you go to trial on a racketeering case and you lose, bro, you're doing 30 plus, 30 minimum, 30 plus. And if you killed someone, or you like did something serious in the racketeering, you're gonna get hit with even more time. Like you don't want to go ahead and fight a RICO federal case. It's a L. I mean, I called it that Cass was gonna lose. Like he was gonna have to plead or he was gonna die in prison, one of the two. And the thing that messes up Cass is that his criminal history is fucked up. He has 20 convictions for robbery. So that automatically brought up his points. It's a point system in the feds based on other crimes you've been convicted of.
Here's another interesting part about this thing. It says, listen, Hudson, who they claim is a one of the big wigs in the YSL organization. They said, well, no, not Hudson. I mean Murphy, right? He's a co-founder, Walter Murphy. They said Hudson, I guess he's probably his lawyer. Okay, that's his lawyer. Hudson says Murphy has already been released and will not testify about the conduct of other individuals. Hudson says the ways Murphy has changed his life after he got out of prison was a major factor in the deal. How does a co-founder of a criminal gang allegedly responsible for a bunch of murders get out, and they're saying that, oh, he's been out and he changed his life? Something like, who are they? Obviously, we agree that they're trying to get Thug, but is this really all about Thug?
Yeah, I think Thug is who they're going after. And the other thing too, I want to also bring to everyone's attention that I haven't seen enough people talk about with the YSL situation is that there's wiretaps on this case, guys. The fact that they have wiretaps is a big problem for the organization. And the reason why I say that is because, so I've done wiretaps myself. I've been Affian on wiretaps, and they're not easy to get, guys. All right, they're extremely difficult to get. You need to be able to establish through probable cause and an affidavit, which is typically lengthy. I remember when I did mine, it was about 75 pages. You need to articulate, number one, why the person's a criminal. Number two, why you need to listen to their phone. And then number three, you need to prove that they're talking to other criminals about criminal activity on that particular device.
Holy shit. I know what the chat keep, because every time I read something, they're like, no, it's not that. I figured it out, chat. Let me read this to you. Let me read.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna read the sentence before. I'll read 2 sentences before. Gunna says he cherishes his association with YSL Music and always will. During Gunna's court appearance Wednesday, the judge read out stipulations of the plea agreement that Gunna then responded to. The rapper swore that he has personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang, but seemed to distance himself from YSL the gang versus YSL the label.
Yeah.
No, hold on. No, I gotta read this one more time.
And that's a part of the plea agreement too. Most plea agreements say that you can't talk to your co-defendant and or associate with them.
Hold on. No way. No. Chat, y'all know what I'm about to play. Hold on, chat. Hold on.
I fell down to my knees when the law came.
I fell down to my knees when the law
No
came.
way. Hold on. I gotta read this again. The rapper, hold on. Myron, I need you to take this in with me. The rapper swore he has personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes.
Yeah.
yo,
And that's
yo. You know the ill thing about my Myron? He's like so not shocked because he's just dealt with it so much. Nah, bro, we listen to these people's music like, bruh, what do you mean he says he has? What does he mean he has personal knowledge? He swore. What could this mean? He has personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang, but he's distancing himself from YSL the gang versus YSL the label.
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, I'm not surprised because when you're looking at those kinds of numbers, man, and you're a music artist and you got money, you got a life to live outside of this shit, man, bro. I've seen the toughest guys.
Wait, hold on.
Man.
Yo, chat. Why did y'all tell me I'm not reading this thing completely? This is what he said. I recognize and I deeply regret that my talent in music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. Gunna acknowledged and signed statement. He also said YSL as a gang must end.
Holy.
No way.
Yeah, right, cuz.
Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking. Wait, hold up. Yeah, Myron.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Break it down. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean,
but if you want a link, I'll send you a link that you can see this.
No, I'm reading it on your. I'm actually reading it on your thing right now. So I'm reading it myself. And yo, here's the thing with plea agreements, bro. You almost. This is how plea agreements go. What the crime is, admitting to the crime, admitting your wrongdoings, right, and then being able to cooperate in the future. That's like the basic structure of any type of plea agreement. Because keep in mind that the defendant is receiving almost all the benefit most of the time in exchange for some type of cooperation or whatever, and or acknowledgement of criminal activity. Him saying that in itself, what does it do? It vilifies the gang as a gang. It proves that they are in fact a gang, even though they tried to say that they're not, despite all the snakes and the slime and the terminology and the gang phrases and the bandanas and everything else like that. And I went into detail in my breakdown on this. But yeah, man, I mean, he's going to obviously say that in a certain way, but the government's always going to have him by the balls that he has to cooperate if needed in the future. And that's probably going to be a bargaining chip for them when they go to Young Thug and say, listen, bro, hold on, go to trial because we'll call Gunna to stand.
Wait. Hold on. I'm glad you said that because I've always heard this. And you obviously working way more intimately than anyone in the community of rap or even myself could even fathom. What do you mean in the future? Like, what do you mean has him by the balls? And pause on the terminology, but what do you mean has, like, again, it's only, I don't even know what to ask. What do you mean they could force him to cooperate? Like,
I got you. So basically, this is what's going to happen. At this point, it's lawyers talking to lawyers. The detectives are no longer talking to the defendants at this point, unless they want to come forward and do some type of agreement, which is called typically a proffer. But at this point, it's lawyers talking to lawyers. And what I mean by that is Young Thug's defense team is talking to the prosecution. The prosecution is going to go to Young Thug's defense team and say, listen, just so y'all know, Gunna pled guilty. And Gunna is willing to come back and cooperate if we need him to, should you guys go to trial. We already know what Thug has done based on discussions with Gunna. So they're probably going to go ahead and let Young Thug's team know that if you go to trial, you're going to probably take an L because we basically got one of your top guys to cooperate with us. Because if you take a plea deal, bro, you got to cooperate to some degree.
I fell down to my knees with yo, Myra, you breaking our hearts. No, keep going though. Keep going. I had to play that sound effect. No. Hold on. Listen. We in hip hop love to be delusional, especially about the people we love. If we don't like you, it's whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Is it? Is it just possible that like, you know what I mean? They're just letting him out because they just realize he just has nothing to do with nothing, and they realize maybe they made a mistake.
Well, if that was the case, then Gunna would have fought it. He has a good legal team, and he has the money to have that legal team fight.
Okay, so I'm playing devil's advocate. Well, maybe fighting the case is going to land him in jail. He's not getting out on bond. 4 attempts, no bail. He's going to have to sit in jail for at least a year to maybe a year and a half just to fight it. It's easier just to say, hey, listen, we do some no harm, no foul shit. And I just take time served and basically go on glorified probation. Obviously, it's a 4-year suspended, but still. And I won't tell. I'm not no telling. There's no telling happening. I'm a gangster. I'm a street nigga. Like, come on, no telling. Can't be no telling.
Well, I'm willing to bet that he gave some sort of information for them to even entertain giving him this plea deal. And then I think the biggest thing is they're going to use.
Well,
that
you're right.
as,
we read it. He said I was in the car with a dude.
Trial, you're going to take an L.
Well, you're right. We read it. He said I was in the car with a dude and none of the guns. Like that's obviously saying, hey, listen, I'm giving a sworn statement, whether I'm on a stand or not, saying that those weapons that you're trying to charge whoever in the car for is definitely not mine.
Because if the state's case was weak, he would have just said, fuck that, I'm going to fight it. It would have been better in his public. It would have been better for him from a public interest standpoint. It would have been better for him for his music career. He would have been better off just fighting it if the charges from the state were that weak. However, they weren't, which is why he took the plea deal in the first place. And whenever you take a plea deal, it's written and etched into the plea deal, virtually state, federal, whatever it is, that you will cooperate with the government should they need you to. So in this case, Young Thug has some good lawyers. He has a very good legal team. And the state is a little bit finicky about it. So what are they going to do? Okay, the best way that we're going to be able to combat Young Thug, his defense team, is we need more and more cooperators against him. Because the thing is this, whenever you have a racketeering case or you have multiple conspirators, the problem is that each conspirator is a criminal. So inherently their testimony is tainted because they're a criminal. They're not deemed trustworthy. However, if you got 5, 10, 20 co-conspirators saying the same shit about the top guy, well, all of a sudden now that the testimony becomes more and more valid because it's being independently corroborated through different individuals. And then each person, right, depending on their hierarchy in the criminal organization, their testimony matters more or less. Someone like Gunna, higher up in the organization, their testimony is going to mean quite a bit. So I would say this was a chess move from the prosecution to secure Gunna's cooperation in the future should they need to go to trial against Young Thug, who they have the overwhelming amount of evidence against and they're trying to go after. And the thing I was trying to say before was why YSL should be really concerned, which is probably why Gunna didn't want to go ahead and fight this thing, is because they have wiretaps. Anytime you have wiretaps.
Wait, hold on real quick.
Go ahead.
Let me read the full statement. So we're reading the article that was there by, so someone from WSB TV was in court. So they know exactly what Gunna had to, on the record, basically acknowledge in front of a judge according to the plea. So that's what they wrote in their article. But Gunna, that's why I said this is kind of odd. Gunna dropped a statement immediately when this came out. You want me to read you Gunna's statement?
Hey, go ahead.
Listen to this, because right now it's playing on the Shade Room. Like, oh man, he definitely, he just got a great legal team. Look, Sergio Kitchens, which is Gunna, this is his press statement. He said, when I became affiliated with YSL in 2016, I did not consider it as a gang, more like a group of people from Metro Atlanta who had a common interest and artistic aspirations. My focus on YSL Entertainment, rap artists who wrote and performed music that exaggerated and glorified urban life and rap community, while I've always agreed to always be truthful, which, by the way, that's him basically saying I have to tell the truth if I ever call. He never says I'm going to be called, but you know they're going to be leveraging him like we could call him. Okay, let's keep going. Yep. I want to make it perfectly clear. I have not made any statements. I have not been interviewed. I have not cooperated, and I have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. Let me stop there before I read the last paragraph. He's saying that he has not agreed to be a part of this trial if it goes to trial, and he will not and has no intention of being involved in this trial. Do you think this is cap?
It's 1000% cap because by virtue of him signing the plea agreement, he forfeited all that.
Oh, shit.
It's a wrap. Like, he can say all that. I haven't talked to the real thing you got to add to that when he says, I have not cooperated, I haven't testified. Add the word yet to that. I have not talked to the police yet. I have not cooperated yet. I have not testified yet, because the government now reserves the right to call him and he must cooperate with the investigation, or they can reinstitute the charges. So he lost that ability to say I'm not cooperating once he signed the plea deal. It's a wrap.
Okay, let me read the last paragraph. He says, I have chosen to end my own RICO case with an Alford plea and end my personal ordeal by publicly acknowledging my association with YSL. That's so interesting because in the first paragraph, he says, I don't consider it a gang. But now he's saying, I'm acknowledging my association with YSL. Interesting. An Alford plea in my case is the entry of a guilty plea, the one that charged against me, which is in my best interest, while at the same time maintain my innocence toward the same charge. I love and cherish my association with YSL Music and always will. There's no way he could be on a label after this. Like, it's just no way. It's just no way, right? Like you agree with this, right? I look at this. Let me just read this last line, and there you go. I look at this as an opportunity to give back to the community and educate young men and women that gangs and violence only lead to destruction. Go ahead, Myron.
Oh, the thing is that he forfeited that ability once he signed the plea agreement, and there's no way around it. If the government needs him, they will absolutely call him. If Young Thug or anybody else higher up in the organization decides to go to trial, they will absolutely call Gunna as a witness to some degree, and he's going to have to testify, and he's not going to be able to enjoy the privileges of the Fifth Amendment because he's not necessarily incriminating himself talking about gang activity that he's already been charged and pled guilty to a degree. So he's not going to be able to invoke the Fifth Amendment like our girl Kelsey did today, because the thing is that Kelsey hasn't been charged for those crimes, so she was able to stay silent. Gunna won't have that privilege if they call him to the stand.
Wow.
Yeah, when you sign a plea agreement, the government owns you, bro. They go through it with your lawyer. They go through it with you. You sit there with your attorney. You and your attorney have prepped it. Like, he knows deep down that the government owns him. Like, all these things he's saying, oh, I have not cooperated, I have not spoken to the police, whatever, I haven't testified. Just put the word yet at the end of it, and then you'll know the truth.
Okay. So let me ask you, and this is obviously a contextual question. But
and
given
because Gunna's going to lie in court. No, bro, because they already have all the facts. If he lies, it's the dumbest thing they could do because they already know what he did. So they're going to hit him with perjury. Sorry, what were you saying, bro? My bad.
True. So let me ask you this question. So Gunna, at this point, do you believe that obviously people are thinking, well, because we've seen this before. If Young Thug comes out and says, nah, like, we wanted Gunna to do that, even if it is what people might think it is, there's going to be a pass that is given. Gunna, Young Thug is the one who I believe is looking at least over 10 years. I would probably say close to 20. Do you think that Young Thug how do you think he will see this move? Just from a defendant point of view.
He's gonna. I mean, if I was him, I'd be looking at it like fuck. Like I'd be pissed because you don't get plea agreements unless you cooperate, typically to some degree, especially with that amount of time shaved off.
Holy shit! By the way, I think Gunna did something amazing. He released a statement which they sent to. They probably did send to me. I gotta go check my shit. They sent a statement to the Shade Room, and they're running with the narrative. But I'm glad the chat told me to check the article because I was like, wow, this is a crazy deal. Then I look down and it says, I realize that, and I deeply regret that my talent in music furthered YSL the gang and to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. In none of his statements, he says YSL as a gang must end.
Yeah.
No, this is wow.
It's wild, man. I mean, but yo, this is how racketeering cases go, man. I mean,
No, I agree. No, I'm with you. Here's the thing, though. You see, we're in hip hop, and the Tekashi 6ix9ine case was such a signifier of this is what snitching or this is what cooperation look like. I'm glad you're here with me, right? To explain how cooperation could be masked, because we only really think cooperation when somebody's on the stand. They got like, you know what I mean? We see the music videos. The guy who's on the stand, they put like in the music videos, they put like a rat head over him and he's pointing somebody out and whatever the case is. Yeah, because that's what we only see cooperation to be. Now, again, for everybody who's watching this, I am a civilian, so I don't give a fuck if somebody did cooperate or not. But I keep saying that, unfortunately, a lot of black culture is crime culture. AJ, you were saying something? What's up?
No, I was gonna say, you want to know the dirty secret when it comes to informants, bro?
Go ahead.
If you see an informant testifying in court, the agent himself fucked up more than likely.
Oh,
there's so many cases where informants never take the stand and they don't even know who the cooperator was. That's when you know that you did a good case, when they don't know who the cooperator is. So for every time you might see a snitch take the stand or a cooperator take the stand, there's probably 10 other investigations where the person got indicted, charged, convicted, everything. Cooperator never took the stand. No one knows who the hell he is.
Fuck. And by the way, I agree with you. I always said if 6ix9ine case went down, right? And if Harv, because these are the kidnappers, right?
Yeah.
If Harv and I think Nuke, if they didn't take it to trial, because everybody in 6ix9ine's gang, Harv and Nuke was the people who broke apart. Like they were already like separated before the whole thing happened. If they never brought it to trial where 6ix9ine had to sit on that stand and talk, I think 6ix9ine is unaffected.
Yeah, he could have had plausible deniability because there was other informants. There were a lot of other informants in the case. For example, his driver,
bro, he would have hit everybody with the oh, hey, listen, I didn't snitch on nobody. I just took a plea and admitted my wrongs.
Yeah,
right. Which really admit your wrongs is like, yeah, of course I saw the shooting. Him was there. Yeah, I didn't do it. Like, again, you're kind of telling me, you're like, oh no, I'm just admitting my truth. I'm admitting what I was involved in. But aggressively, people only think that telling is pointing out people on the stand.
Well, let me tell you this too, Act. The thing